Boss?
Yeah, sorry about that stupid click. I don't know. The mouse didn't work well sometimes. I guess. Welcome everyone. Welcome, Clobberers, to Saturday Night Star Trek number 72. And we're getting better at the timing on that. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness! I hope all of our friends are doing well out there. Hello, Clobberers. What's up, my friends? Happy Memorial Day weekend, and a big clobbering time love out there to out there wherever they are, any way they could possibly know that we appreciate them, those who gave their lives for the freedom that we enjoy. So,
Mm-hmm.
and hope you all have a wonderful weekend, folks. And it is great to see you all. Um, we got a big one for you tonight. We got a big one for you every night. I hope. I hope we will see many of our friends here. I guess a lot of people are probably traveling this weekend. I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So doing various things, but that's okay. We will take business as usual. So, welcome, my wonderful first officer. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. Nice to see all the 735ers. And yes, for Memorial Day, make sure that you take a moment of silence and you just think about freedom, what it takes to have freedom, to maintain freedom, to get freedom. It's there were a lot of courageous people that gave their lives for us, for all of us. So make sure you take that beat, take a moment of silence, and just think of those people and send out good vibes. If you pray, send out a little prayer. Yeah, a big weekend in the United States, and I send all of my love to all of the veterans and their families.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Well said. Good to see you all here tonight, folks. Well, we'll get right into it after I do a couple of show notes, and we'll do our hellos and get on to our reviews tonight. I'd like to see some. Sometimes I get distracted at the beginning because I'm, writing down the names because we like to shout out everybody who has joined us tonight, and it takes me a second, so I apologize for that, folks. But let's see. It's great to see you all popping in. Here we go. Okay, show notes really quickly. I'll try to be quick about them. Here we go. First, I have a couple of videos out there. I'll start off with this one, Iconicon, coming up
Dun dun dun,
July
dun.
the 1st, 22. I will Iconicon 2, and they're not calling it Electric Boogaloo. That's just me. The great Retro Blasters are putting on another wonderful virtual con. I had a great time doing it last year. Cannot wait for this year's panel on toy comics that I will be conducting right here on the channel. So I hope you will join us for that. More info to follow. Put up a video last week by myself and my great friend, the great Ace Cast Iron, who is here tonight.
Ace!
In the chat there, we had it's just check the video out if you like to hear me yelling about comics. And the aforementioned Retro Blasting is great. Michael French, who was 10 years, by the way, celebrating 10 years on YouTube now. Great anniversary for them. This was Star Wars is in the news a lot. It was Star Wars Day the other night and the other day, and you have Obi-Wan that's releasing all this stuff. So Luke Skywalker Defined, I have a video dropped with Michael French from on my show a couple of years ago, really telling us, laying it out there what Luke Skywalker is all about. It's a great video. If you're a Star Wars fan, please check that out.
Now more than ever, people need to be reminded.
Boy, do they ever. Do they ever. Also, let's see here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, how do you jump something there? Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk.
Dun,
I'll
dun, dun, dun.
be joined by my good friend Ace Cast Iron of another classic, Clobby's classic comic review. This time we'll be reviewing the 1976 epic event, the greatest comic book event of all time, the very first Marvel DC crossover for superheroes, anyway. Superman versus Spider-Man. So it's a classic, and we will be reviewing it, and I cannot wait. And then finally, the last note: Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be on the Great Stone Loki's channel for our monthly DC animated film review. This month it will be Green Lantern First Light.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun, dun.
and that's what she said. So that is that. Let me see if I've got all of our names ready to go so we can start saying our hellos. Hold just 1 second. We will take off doing that. Because I want to get everybody. I love it when they pop in like this. Okay. I think I got just about everybody to get started. Almost. Okay. With us this evening is, of course, Michael Beacom, who popped in earlier, but said he might have to come back a little bit later, but that's okay. He popped in. That's all that matters.
Hi.
Yep. Good to see you, Michael. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see here. Who else is with us? Sorry, I'm getting my ducks in a row here. I like to write everybody down when they come in. Mr. Angel. What's up, Chef?
Hey, Chef.
Good to see you, sir. The Comic Relief Crusader. What's up, dude? Welcome.
Evening.
The master of all that is bronze wrenching, the bronze wrencher himself, the great Eric T.
Hey, baby. Mwah, mwah,
up, buddy?
mwah.
Good to see you, man. Pleasant Valley Picker. Hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
J-Man Buddy. Good to see you there, man.
J-Man. Make sure you're
Always-
following him on Amazon.
Oh, yes, please.
He's
follow
selling
all my-
stories. He is a purveyor of sweet stories.
Yes, absolutely. Please follow him. And of course, there's a link to his channel in my description below, as there are links to many other fine YouTube friends of mine. Please check them all out and give them subs and likes and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. The great J-Man, folks. Phantom Outsider, buddy.
Phantom Outsider.
Yes, indeed. Raymond Feliciano, hey.
Don't forget to follow King Dolphin TV.
King Dolphin TV is also the wonderful Sandra Feliciano's here. Hello, Sandra.
Those romantic wrenches. Hey, no making out on the bridge.
D. Bud Martin, what's up, bro?
D-Bud. Mwah, mwah.
Let's see here. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. D. Bud, hope you're doing well, man. Apollome's Minion and
The Pepperoni, the truck dog. Simi has her own channel. Please follow her. And of course, everyone should know that Apollome's Minions pupper, Simi, is the official ship dog of Saturday Night Star Trek.
Indeed. Okay, let's see here who we got. Gwagnar. Hello, Gwagnar. I like that name. J25. Hey.
J25.
Kal-El Buddy, the super one. What's up,
The real
man?
soup. Stephen M.
That's right, bud. Good to see you, man. The extraordinary enigmatic drop bear. Hey, ED.
Hey, the erudite bear. He's going to drop the mic tonight.
The master of the lyric, Max Redstone.
Max.
Pop Culture Curator. Hello there, Pop Culture Curator. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
The aforementioned extraordinary friend of mine, Ace Cast Iron. Good to see you there, bro.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope you're doing good tonight,
I always
man.
love his reviews. He does it in the order in which he loves the ships. So it's great because you have to take a
review
pause
system.
and you have to be like, what does Ace think about this one? And then
I
you're
love
like,
it. He has his own unique system there.
I love his system.
Indeed. Just Joe, Jobber Buddy. What's up, man?
Rubber.
Snail Messiah. What's up, my friend? Good to see you.
Evening.
Terrell 72. Always a pleasure. Great to have you here, Terrell.
Nice to see you, Tyrell.
Hungry Boy Buddy. Or tonight he is Hungry to Clobber Bad Comics. You the man.
Love you, hungry boy. Nice to see you.
Hello there, James Caserta. Hello, hello,
Evening.
hello. Wolfie's here.
Ow, ow, ow.
The great Andy Masterson. What's up, bub?
Hey, the maker himself is in the house.
Yes, indeed. Pop Culture Republic. Hello, hello, hello.
Pop, pop, pop.
If I missed anyone, raise your hand because I'm not seeing if I did or not. But oh, you're from the beach tonight, Wolfie. Well, I envy that.
Great.
I'm in no beach in a long time, but hey, I'm glad you were there. So, and I hope you're having a great time. We're gonna get started in record time tonight. Probably looks like. Let's see. For those who do not know, and by the way, big shout out because I don't do it enough to anyone who might be. Oh my goodness, the great Chris Perch is here.
Yay! Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Chris, good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Always. And we never shout out enough the people who may just lurk. A lot of friends lurk. A lot of people who don't have it, whether they're listening it, whether you're listening to it later on a rebroadcast, on a download, or you lurk. You don't have time to get involved in all the chatting and stuff. We still love you being here. We appreciate you being here. We thank you all for listening and all that. We got a lot of listens or watches, views last week, and I appreciate it. So we appreciate you. What we do basically here, if you are just stumbling across the show, is 735 is the 735 Club. That is, of course, a term coined by my wonderful first officer, R.M. Briggs, who I did not even properly greet tonight. Thank you for being here so much, and forgive my rudeness. I love you, and forgive my rudeness for everyone, the greatest first officer in the fleet, and I didn't even give her a good introduction tonight.
You're
I'm
not
very
rude.
embarrassed.
You're the best captain in the whole damn fleet, and I love you very much. Don't worry about it.
Thank you for being here tonight. We always have such a wonderful time, and it's all because of you. And this chat certainly helps with that as well. They're great. You guys are fantastic. And anyone out there listening, even if you don't chat or participate like that, I have no way to really express my appreciation to you, but I do when I think about it. I'm very thoughtless about such things. I must admit sometimes, but thank you if you're watching on downloads or if you're watching on a rebroadcast or just looking. Thank you if you're lurking. I lurk sometimes. So the 735 Club, as coined by my wonderful first officer. Oh my goodness, Janet from Another Planet's here.
Interplanet Janet, she's a galaxy girl.
Good to see you, Janet. What we're doing is she has determined that there are 735 installments of real, as in legitimate Star Trek. That means, of course, 66 through 05, the only Star Trek that matters. And we've decided to a couple of years back, we decided we were going to review it all. A monumental task, but we're going to do it. Our mission is to review all of real Star Trek. And we have already reviewed the original series, the animated series, the original crew films, and now we are somewhere smack dab in the middle of season 7 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we will have 4 episodes per week usually, and that is tonight, 4 episodes. And that's our mission. And now and we will review the other shows subsequently. So my wonderful first officer will now explain to you our source for our reviews, and we'll get underway.
Well, thank you so much, Captain. I'd also like to shout out a regular viewer who has been with us for, I don't know, like over a year now. I think he's on a different schedule than he was before with his work, or something's going on, because he's watching us as a podcast instead of participating in the live chat. And he's otherwise engaged. I'm not going to assume doing what, but I do really love, and I know I speak for everyone here, we really love.
Oh yeah.
So we're thinking of you.
If you're hearing this, yes.
Yeah.
Never mean to leave you out. We always love when we see you pop in, and sometimes once in a while we'll comment later. So out there. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. So let's get right to it. Okay. So the captain has put up this image of a book called Star Trek 365, The Next Generation. It's written by Paula M. Block. She's a prolific Star Trek writer. She gets a little help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman. He's riding second chair here, but he's an author in his own right. And of course, this book receives the blessing of everyone who is involved with creating, producing, acting, everyone involved with the TNG, The Next Next Generation. And we use this text. We use it because it offers a great little summary, and it offers us some verified production notes, and it gets rid of some rumors that exist from fan lore, factoids that exist from user-generated sources, and so on and so forth. And then the captain and I discussed the episode. And then after we discussed the episode, see, we wanted this show to be like we were meeting up at a con, and all the Trekkies were going to get together, and we were just going to talk about it. We were going to talk about Star Trek. And so that's what you can expect here if you're new here. We're not going to plod through each and every scene doing a review of it. No. We're shooting from the hip here, and we're just discussing what we love, what we hate about the episodes, our favorite quotes, whether or not we like it, whether or not it's a real stinker. And then we do something around here that you seldom see. I mean, you're seeing it more, but we did this right off the hop. And that is, we throw the reviews to the community. And the community here, just wonderful people. They offer a grade. They grade it as though they are professors of Star Trek. And then we put it up on the marquee, and we talk about their grade and maybe a few sentences that they leave us with to tell us why they gave that grade. And so that's what's happening here tonight. And like the boss said, we are around the middle of that season 7, and we're ready to get underway. What do you think, boss?
Let's get going. Are you ready to start with our first episode for the evening?
Yeah, let's do it.
All righty then, let's go. Our first episode, excuse me, tonight is Inheritance.
Inheritance. This is also known as, well, at least by me, What Are Little Girls Made Of? TOS Season 2, Episode 7. I bet you're scratching your head saying, what is she saying? Well,
wow.
You'll learn later. This is Season 7, Episode 10, and it first aired on November 22nd, 1993. And Hungry Boy says, when they're a stinker, nay, deploy the shin kicks. So if it's a real stinker, yes, we make sure we deploy shin kicks. So let's stay copyright compliant, and we'll dig into that text again. So let's just make sure that we keep the algorithms happy by saying, I will be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. I will call out the page, and therein becoming completely copyright compliant. I do read extemporaneously. That means I don't pre-read this stuff. And Claudia and I don't talk about the episodes beforehand, because we really wanted this experience to be organic, for the community to experience these episodes and this material together. Okay, so without further ado, let's get it on.
Dad Man, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Man Clan. You know, he's camping, and he is tweeting some of the coolest pictures.
Oh, cool.
He put the Death Star in his sunset. It's pretty funny.
Cool.
Okay, we are on, please turn your hymnal, your block text, to page 329. I'm going to be reading from there tonight. Data discovers that one of the scientists working to reignite the core of the planet Atria 4 is Juliana Tainer, former wife of Data's inventor, Nunyan Sung. Data doesn't recall her, she explains, because Sung wiped the android's memory just before the attack of the crystalline entity. Although Juliana says she thinks of herself as Data's mother, she admits that she was against his creation. She was afraid he'd turn out badly, like Lore. For that same reason, she and Sung left him behind when they abandoned Omicron Theta. It's very difficult for me to say it the way that North American people do. Should be Omicron Theta, but let's just do it for North Americans. Omicron Theta. Anyway, but while Data believes Juliana, he feels that something about her isn't right. And ultimately, that something leads him to a long hidden message from Sung. Inheritance was yet another touchy-feely episode, admits TNG's resident touchy-feely guy, Rene Echevarria. But I enjoyed it very much, he adds. Echevarria shaped journalist Dan Coppell's premise in an emotional teleplay about Data's reunion with a mother he never knew he had. When he learns that she is also an android, he sees the potential for a kinship unlike he's ever known, save the one he briefly experienced with Lal. But Sung, in an interactive pre-recorded message, asks him to leave Juliana in the dark about her true nature, and Troy counsels the same. Data has to decide whether he should take away from her the one thing he's always wanted for himself, the desire to be human, by telling her the truth, Echevarria says. It was a nice moment to get to. Ultimately, Data decides not to tell her. Is it fair? Well, not really, but we all know that life's not always about what's fair. Troy's rationalization that he'd be robbing Juliana of the one thing he's always wanted doesn't quite hold up. Yeah, you're kidding me. You're telling me. Anyway, Data is self aware. He knows what he is, even though he wants to be something else. He can handle the unique reality of his situation. The supposition by Sung and the others is that Juliana can't. She is blissfully unaware of her own reality and doesn't comprehend that she's a copy of another human being. As a scientist, wouldn't she want to know the truth? In a way, she's got the best of both worlds. The virtually unlimited abilities of an android packaged in a body that includes the emotions of a human. Perhaps Sung underestimated her ability to cope. In the end, viewers can't know what the right decision was. We can only judge Data's actions and his decisions to spare Juliana from the forbidden knowledge, which, as always, speaks more of his own humanity and compassion than to his lack of it. Well, lately you've been portraying him like some type of rabid dog. Anyway, boss man, that is all the block text has to say about inheritance.
Right.
What did you think of coverage in the block text, and what did you think of the episode, boss?
Well, pretty interesting coverage. I thought the episode was okay. I've always thought the episode was okay. Okay,
Mhm.
Red Max, I appreciate it. I've always thought it was a fairly sweet story. I don't know. Sometimes I'm bordering on, I don't know, going too far back in the Data's past kind of is getting a little bit old for me personally.
Yeah.
But it's tough to resist any Data episode that's Data centric because he's always so good.
Yep.
And this is an interesting. I mean, Spider's just terrific in this episode. This lady is also, I think, she's really good. Does a lovely job with the role. It's an interesting idea. And again, it's something I've been thinking about a lot because of how much we beat up on this show for straying away from being at least something that's dealing with, because Star Trek is about ideas. Remember how almost all the time on the original series, I would always say some of my keywords would be ideas and this concept and these ideas. Well, again, if you're at least dealing with ideas, even if it's not a very good story, I'm always going to give you some points. When you're being Murder, She Wrote or LA Law, or trying to be some shocking, stupid crap that you shouldn't be, that's when I really get put out by these episodes. I thought this was pretty interesting. I like the dynamic between Data and his mother. Now, you could quibble with his decision. I think I can understand why I understand why Data did what he did. But there are stretches too, like Sung Mi, him having a mother android, and I can understand some people not being thrilled about that so much because it's kind of we're playing around with Data's past, always going back and fiddling with it. But on the balance, I thought it was a sweet episode.
Yeah. It doesn't. There are. I have a couple of sticking points with it that I don't really like very much. The areas of the story that are problematic. But Fionnuala, I'm having difficulty saying that, of course, because I don't speak my own language, which is Irish. However, there is a name in Greek, Fionnuala, but her name is Fionnuala Flanagan. I think that she steals the show here.
Yes, she's
terrific.
And
she's quite wonderful. And I am pleased to be away from the sort of we can't trust Data. This is alien.
Yes.
This isn't Data. And so you have the nice fifis back, right? You got your good fifis. They're the nice endorphins are being released again, right?
Yep. Finola? Is that okay? Finola says hungry. Okay.
Oh, neat.
Finola. Okay. Finola.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because again, I think she's one of these actors that just maybe not just this episode. It seems like I've seen her in a lot of stuff, but I can't really I know she was also on Enterprise, I think,
Mm-hmm.
much later. I
Mm-hmm.
think she
Yeah.
was pretty sure she was on an episode of Enterprise.
Yep. Yep.
With
She's a
yeah,
wonderful
yeah, really
actress.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Irish, obviously, right?
Hmm.
And just I think she's beautiful. I
Yeah.
I have always loved the fact that on Star Trek you don't have to be a 19-year-old girl who is half dressed in order for men to be attracted to you and in order to star in a show. And Star Trek gives us such a wonderful array of beautiful women and talented, brilliant women, and they're all different ages and shapes and sizes, and this is one of an example of that where it's a woman who is better than middle age, who is outstandingly gorgeous and is such a great actress.
This is a
She's just
wonderful performance. Yeah.
she's just great in this, and she's wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. This is an episode where again, its heart's in the right place. I think it's an interesting idea. You could quibble maybe a little bit with adding to Data's backstory if you must, but on the whole, I would find this a charming, decent, in a good, solid, decent episode with good ideas and great performances, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Notes?
Yeah. So if you're new around here, I rewatch Star Trek in chronological order every single year starting on January 1st. And when Claudia and I first discussed how we were going to review these shows, he just said, let's keep it organic. Let's not worry too much about reviewing it scene by scene. And so I scratched my head and sort of thought, how can I add to that just to make sure that we've got some meat on the bone? And I thought, I'll take notes. So I actually take out a piece of paper, as old-fashioned as that is, and a pencil, and I take notes while I'm watching the episode. And that's what the boss is calling for here. So I'm going to read my notes. Dr. Juliana O'Donnell is Dr. Roger Corby. This is, of course, Dr. Corby was a dying man put in an android body, and and this is this transhumanism. So this Dan Coppell, who wrote this, he wrote the story, and the teleplay was written by the Dan Coppell guy as well as the Renee Echevarria guy. Definitely, they were borrowing from what our a little girl's made of, because we see this transhumanism, someone's consciousness placed inside of an android body. You can't tell that it's an android, so there's a level of perfection there. And of course, it is a dying man, right? Roger Corby, of course, you all know, he had terrible, terrible frostbite, and he had to be put into the mechanism. So it's a return to transhumanism. But definitely Dan Coppell and Renee Echevarria did not come up with this story idea. This is Dr. Roger Corby, almost exactly. It's just a really sexy Irish lady instead. Then I don't believe Dr. Tainer avoided every medical exam and transporter pattern signal for her entire life. And then I put in yellow all caps, nope. And then I put no injuries, ? Not even a cut, ? Juliana not knowing what she is dumb. And then I put, this is really terrible, bad Sung makeup. He looks awful.
It was terrible. Yeah.
Like, what's going on with those cheeks? Yeah. And I hate the Tasha Yar funeral flashbacks when Sung creates a response program just for Data. Again, we have that Tasha Yar funeral flashback to like, wow, this is so scripted. This is so perfect. Why would Sung leave a story about her just for Data, right? Because when when Sung created her, it was after Data. So, Data joined Starfleet. It's just, the whole thing is just, it makes you do too many mental gymnastics and it takes you out of the story. So it gets a big boo, hiss, cat call from me there. The tell her crisis isn't compelling or believable. She has a right to know what she is. And then as an example of that, in my rhetoric, if I were to unfurl rhetoric in that regard, Pran Tainer, her husband, is being portrayed as being somewhat mistrustful of androids. We see him on the bridge asking Riker to, double check Data's work, and he doesn't really trust Data. He seems at uneasy around androids, and he has the right to know that his wife is a robot. I also didn't like the way that Sung made her of a specific age and then had her age out. I thought that was dumb also. And then, of course, I put Fionnuala. It's so hard for me to go.
Fionnuala.
Anyways,
As a Hungry Boy said, but I already forgot.
yeah, Flanagan is a talented Irish actress. I should feel so embarrassed. I lived as an assimilated and adopted Greek for a little over 15 years, and so here I'm able to say Fanula, but I can't say it in my own, like, my own DNA, but my actual identity. I don't speak Irish. It's quite embarrassing. Anyway,
you sound.
Flanagan is a talented Irish actress, and she is absolutely wonderful here.
Finola, there you go. Yes. Okay, so what is your rating of Inheritance?
Okay, so boss, I really didn't like the fact that Dr. Tainer avoided all of these medical exams. This woman has never even had a paper cut. No one's ever noticed her transporter pattern. I think it's dumb. The Sung makeup is awful. I didn't like the Tasha Yar. Everybody's ready for this funeral and they know exactly what to say. And the weird made up tell her crisis. She has a right to know that she's an android, and her husband, who is terrified or evidently seems apprehensive of synthetic life forms, deserves to know. Also, Echevarria should not take credit for Dr. Corby. We already had Dr. Corby. So for those reasons, I give this episode, despite this wonderful performance by Flanagan, a B-.
Dave G. Sound, hello there, and Mazarus, welcome.
Yay!
I got it at a B. I mean, I understand. By the way, the Dr. Corby thing, yes, but Dr. Corby put his own mind in a machine. This is just a copy.
He did.
This is what's his name? Sung putting, making a copy of his wife, which was kind of weird if you think about it. But
yep.
Yeah, it was weird. Oh, yeah, and look, all these stretches that it makes you make are definitely. I do understand. Wendy Webb.
Hey, Wendy.
Hello there, Wendy Webb. Good to see you. Welcome. Always great to have you here. So yeah, there's a lot of this one asks a lot of you in terms of making you make some stretches. Steve Mitchum.
Hey, Maddie Stanley.
What up, buddy? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope Maddie is doing well.
Yeah.
Always great to see you, brother.
Sending smooches for her whole beautiful face.
This is a kissing. So yeah, I found her performance, and again, yeah, the sung part. I guess I don't know. I don't mind the message thing that much, but he looked terrible. Yeah, it's just, but
he did.
Anyway,
I think it's clever that they played with this whole idea of what are little girls made of. I think it's very clever that they did that, because so far they haven't really touched on that in a meaningful way on that idea of transhumanism, of putting that consciousness into the body. And of course we have that in that episode of TOS. So it's kind of nice, and it's also, I don't know how you feel, but for me, somewhat redeeming. Because they've been turning our Pinocchio into like a terrible, awful robot instead of him being our Pinocchio, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. So overall, I definitely I thought a decent and a sweet episode, but certainly does ask a lot of you to make some leaps of logic that don't particularly work. So a very flawed one. So I just give it a B. Now the word is given, my friends. Please give any ratings you may have and any comments you may have about Inheritance. And while number one is gathering those, how about a little Max Redstone Limerick entertainment?
Do it!
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our fantastic friend Max Redstone, who, as those of you know who are regulars to Saturday Night Star Trek, always or often comes up with a little bit of a limerick for each episode. And he has done so tonight. And for the first episode, Inheritance, here we go, everyone. So Inheritance by Max Redstone. 1 second here. Let me prepare. All right, let's see. The Enterprise is now a sitcom when Mr. Data meets up with his mom. The fun is truly employed when he finds out she's also an android. but can't tell her because it would burn out her CD-ROM. Wow. Nice one, Max. Good job,
stuff,
dude.
Max.
That's top stuff right there. Well done, buddy. Okay, so let's look at some of our friends' ratings and reviews. Mr. Dave G. Sound says C-ish. Thank you, Dave. He rates it as a C-ish. So in the C area, we will put it. Let's see here. Mr. Angel says C. Are you my mummy? Yeah, that's of course a Doctor Who reference. Well done. Yes, no, maybe. Of course, it was in Mummy. Not my favorite episode, Data episode. It was a bit forced storyline, I fear. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. It's good to see you. And Eric Carroll, welcome. Good to see you pop in there. Good to see you. Says, let's see here. C+, it makes no sense. Thank you, Eric Carroll. Mega Cropper, also good to see you, man. Or, let's see. Sorry, I have to write yours down. Mega Cropper gives us a rating of B. Think the lady was in Lost. Was she? Wow. She'd have been quite old being in that, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
R.N. Feliciano Raymond says B. When does Soon get tired of making different personas?
Yeah. And this time something entirely different, Raymond. You know, and we have transhumanism instead of creating a personality. So that's quite interesting to me. Boss man, I just wanted to interject very quickly, and I do apologize for interrupting you, but Cam Loops just walks through the door.
Oh my goodness, Cam Loops. What's up, dude? That 70s is here because I can't see the chats. That's what she's telling me there.
Yep.
That 70s rock fan, please everyone. That's a great gentleman. If you haven't subbed to his channel, he's a good buddy, a good friend of the show, and it's always good to see you there, Cam Loops. Also popping in is Zathras. What's up, buddy?
Crap.
Pretty much that's what he thinks of this one as well, because he says D-. Zathras watching a rom-com with his imaginary friends and discussing this episode. All three girlfriends agreed it sucks, so Zathras must agree. Well said, Zathras. Oh, I love Zathras.
Jobber said that it was episode 93 in Lost, and it was around 2004 to 2010, and she would only be 10 to 15 years older. He wanted you to know that. Thank you, Just Joe 47.
This was like 1993 or something here, though. So
yeah, it's 1993.
Okay, I don't know how old she was there, but she was no spring chicken, the lovely lady. But then she was on Enterprise with the Paul episode.
Yep.
And she was a Vulcan.
Yep.
And so, that's cool. The Comic Relief Crusader says, grade C. This just seems like a cut and paste generic Data episode with everyone, where everyone is surprised by some sort of reveal, but too stupid to use the tech to discover it. Acting, good writing, meh. Fair enough.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. Wolfie says, rating B. Boy, that crystalline entity is the tree that keeps on giving, right? Good story with decent continuity. Yeah, after lore, who would want to make something similar? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True enough. Performances are top notch here. I agree with that.
I like that he said that.
I agree. Let's see. Sorry, having some. Oh my goodness, reflux issues. Hate that.
It's okay. Don't worry about it, Captain.
Kal-El says A-. This episode was well done and told an interesting story with an unresolved moral quandary at the end. And rather than present Data's choice as the correct one, quote unquote correct one, and condemning any audience member who may disagree with this decision, the episode chooses a path, but still leaves the matter of whether the right choice was made up to the viewer. I do agree, however. Hang on. That TNG going back to the well of Data's past happens more often than is necessary.
Yep.
In my opinion, which is why this episode didn't get an A.
Yep.
I got you.
It's almost as if they knew that people were turned off by making Pinocchio evil, and so they wanted to have this redemption episode and decided to dig out this story submitted by this Coppell guy. And yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, our bronze wrencher, great Eric K, says D. More bad Trek. She robot mom, who everyone does not know. She is robot, please. Just meh.
I respect that. I respect that because I feel the same way. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. The only reason why I like this is because it gets back to transhumanism. She is Dr. Corby. I love that, a dying person puts their body into a perfect android. I think that's cool, and I think she's a wonderful actress. But yeah, I agree with you, Eric. Love you, Eric, and I totally agree with you. It's just, how could she do that without even so much as a paper cut? Like when she bled, she would know she wasn't a human.
So I guess I interpreted it as she was just dead, and then someone made a copy, but she's not like she put her mind in anything. That's what I interpreted. I could be wrong, but Wagner says a grade C. STP code retroactively hurts all these Sung episodes for me. Yeah, but that's not. I hear you, my friend, and it is trash. But don't even though it's difficult, try and compartmentalize and just don't treat that trash like real Star Trek. It didn't happen. It doesn't count. That's the way I treat it. So. Mm-hmm. Sandra Feliciano says B. Nothing really stood out as exceptional or bad. Interesting ethical dilemma reflecting back to Data's right to self-determination. As a sentient being, shouldn't she know her own nature? One would think, wouldn't one? It's a quandary. And at least it wasn't, I don't know, I guess I was just happy it wasn't murder she wrote for a change.
Well, it's kind of weird too, because they say in the episode that Sung says in the episode that he put her he put her personality into this android, but then they break up. They're sitting in 10 forward, and he's shocked, and she's shocked that he's dead. It's so weird.
There you go.
I mean, if you were still in love with her, why would you stay with her? How did they lose track of one another? It raises more questions than it answers, and it's annoying.
Pleasant Valley Picker says, well, I'll give it a B based on what you said. Don't remember it, but what the hell, anything with hot gray-haired women gets a thumbs up. I'm old and still, okay. Gotcha. There you go. Noted, sir. Vax Redstone says, B-. I did like parts of this episode, but it stretches in parts to make ends meet, and you can tell. That being said, I want to see more of the Sung off-the-line android family.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see sisters and uncles and cousins and nephews and getting drunk and fighting around the holiday table about who is more perfect. Yes.
Well, then Lore will have to have kids.
I'm with you there. Phantom Outsider says, but the real question, let's see, but the real question is, how many of these androids did Sung make? Yeah, good point. Where does he get the materials and the equipment? Sung, Dr. Doom, and Lex Luthor got labs everywhere. Yeah. I did actually, for some strange reason, wondered that at one point. Wendy Webb says, B, I like this episode overall. The premise is interesting, but the story felt a little forced. And number one, we have our great pal, enigmatic drop bear. If you would do the honors, we'll switch places. And
okay, that sounds good. Enigmatic drop bear, the erudite bear. He's going to drop the mic tonight. He's got a 3-parter, and he's going to go ahead and give this episode a C+. And he says, an interesting but somewhat of a one-note story with a B plot that was a nothing burger. I love that saying. He's a nothing burger. So cool. I
Right.
wonder the origin of that. Anyway,
I've
the
heard it for a
concepts
while.
underpinning Juliana's existence as an android were deeply flawed, right?
Indeed.
2 of 3. The bear says the conclusion lacked the gravitas that it should have had. Dr. Sung said Juliana would shut down if she became aware she was an android, creating quite the dilemma for Data. Yeah, and so did she look down at her arm when her arm was severed? Like she fell off the cliff. She wasn't aware she was an android unless she would have seen her arm. So I didn't like that either, ED. And then his last part, he says, however, that factor was not raised during Data's discussion with the crew. It should have been a fundamental aspect of their consideration. Yeah, yeah, it's just and also like I'm just going to leave this up for a second while we discuss that because okay, so let's say she's on this planet now with her husband who is trepidatious at best when it comes to androids, and then he finds out that he's married to an android, and then so what happens if she discovers she's an android and that this transhumanism has taken place? What do they do with the tech? Would like who owns that tech? Obviously, they're not just going to leave that tech, right? Sung, this was the apex of his career. He was even he had even created a system that could block her being medically evaluated, and perspiration. So this is the apex of Dr. Sung's career and his creation. So if she becomes aware she's an android, she just shuts down and dies, and then what? She's left on a planet with a guy who's kind of afraid of androids. Weird and dumb.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
I guess that's the end of our reviews then, right?
Okay.
Because I believe our good buddy, Mark D, is not here with us tonight. I think he's out. He may pop in later, but he does not have a review. So I think we're done with the reviews on this one. We're ready to move on, or what?
Yes. And Jill's away as well.
Yes,
but she'll be back next week.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully we'll see them all soon. All right, then. So, everyone, we're going to move on. Are we ready to move on to our next episode?
We are.
All right. That next episode, folks, is Parallels.
Yay! Parallels! Parallels, also known as the episode that inspired the filth. I don't know what the block text is going to say, but you should, everyone at home should know that this is the episode that inspired the filth. So this is
really?
Yeah, the weirdo movie that I wouldn't watch.
Oh, the 09 trash?
Yeah, I think it's 2009 when it came out. I don't pay attention to filth because I don't walk around carrying a poopy baby diaper with me. Anyway, this is where the Klutzman got the idea. So
that was George R. Abrams, you mean?
Yes, but also the Klutzman person.
I did not know that.
But
he was later, but yeah.
Yes, and the Jar Jar dingbat there.
Right.
Okay, so Parallels is season 7, episode 11. It was first broadcast on November 29th, 1993. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. Please turn to page 330 if you're reading along. Yes, Dave G. sound. Raspberries abound. Raspberries abound.
Gwagnar, good one.
What did Gwagnar
Star Trek,
say?
the multiverse of madness.
Yeah. The multiverse of poop. And Hungry Boy Piggy Nose on Troy. Okay, let's do this, folks. Worf inexplicably finds himself hopping from one alternate universe to the next after he returns to the Enterprise from a Batleth competition. After Worf experiences realities where Deanna Troi is his loving wife, LaForge is dead, and Picard was never rescued from the Borg. Data concludes that on Worf's return from a contest, his shuttle inadvertently passed through a quantum fissure in the space-time continuum. Worf must take the shuttle back through it and return to his own Enterprise. But as the fissure begins to destabilize and hundreds of Enterprises appear, well, it's hundreds of thousands, but anyway, hundreds of enterprises appear. That may be easier said than done. Didn't they say it was 285,000 hailing
There's quite a few,
signals
yes.
and
Zillion
growing?
of them, yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the number, but yeah.
I remember thinking when
Quite
I
a bit.
wrote Parallels that it would probably never be made, says Brandon Braga. It would be too expensive, especially the ending with all the realities collapsing into one and thousands of enterprises appearing in the same space. In fact, I remember writing a stage direction in an early draft of the script. Line producer Mary Howard's jaw drops to the floor because it was a really super expensive gag, but one that the fans remembered. They seemed to like that, and also seeing crazy Riker aboard the Enterprise from the alternate reality where the Borg had destroyed Earth. A certain contingent of fans, however, did not like the Troy Worf thing. You mean like 90% of fans?
Nobody likes it. Find one that does.
Yeah, he would break her in half. I just don't get it. Jadzia, I get. Anyways, let's keep going. As Braga refers to the relationship, the Imzadi fans, the ones who were really into the Riker-Troy relationship. You mean the Decker unit? Anyway, they were up in arms, he explains. But we really love the unlikely nature of their relationship. It was initially meant to only be in that one episode. What if, in one reality, Worf is married to Troy? But the chemistry was so strong. What? The chemistry was not strong. The chemistry was so strong that we thought, you know what? Maybe we should do this for real. What?
Are we having mic problems, Hungry Boy? Are you kidding? I mean to know that if someone says something about audio problems, crackling on RAQUEL's mic. Raquel, I mean Raquel's mic.
Oh no, am I crackling?
I've heard you fine, so I don't know.
Okay, the actors really enjoyed it. Anything new from them to do besides pushing buttons at their stations was always warmly welcomed.
Okay, so we're good. By the way, I've heard them complain about it, so I don't know if that's true.
Okay, there is another tile from page 331. Shall I read it, boss?
Only if you think it's worth it.
It has a data visual. I think it's worth reading. Let's do it. I think there's only... Oh my goodness, there are... Oh, that's just happy birthday in Klingon. Okay, yeah, I'm going to read the page 331. Michael Piller was a tough taskmaster. There was a rotating door on the writer's room, states Joe Minosky. A kind of great white hope situation where Michael would hire somebody he thought was going to work out great and then fire them as soon as they turned in a script that he inevitably hated. None of us was really secure in our jobs until we proved ourselves to Michael in some dramatic fashion. For the writers that remained with TNG, however, Pillar's occasional glowing approval on a script was a moment to savor. When he read the script of Parallels, he said to me, "This is your crowning achievement," Brandon Braga recalls. Michael loved it, particularly the idea behind it, which was based on a parallel alternate reality. Quantum physics was a pretty radical thing to present to television viewers at the time. The whole idea of branching realities had to be explained with a graphic presented by Data. It was one of several TNG episodes that triggered intense internal discussions. Will the audience get this? Braga chuckled at the memory. We'd be like, okay, how are we going to explain this in a way that's graphable and doesn't sound like a load of crap? But in Parallels, it was more than just technobabble. It was based on real theory. I think we may have introduced that theory to the mainstream for the first time. Oh, give me a break. Be quiet. The episode's mini lesson in quantum physics had a big impact on at least one young TNG fan, Robert Orsi.
Oh my God, that's an idiot word for Jar Jar Abrams.
Co-writer with Alex Klutzman of the 2099 filth movie calling itself Star Trek. Do you like how I changed what the book says?
Yes,
anyway,
exactly. Well done.
Plot elements in the movie collide with traditional Star Trek historical landmarks, thus establishing a new timeline of events for Kirk, Spock, millions of Vulcans, etc. Or
Now I really
C,
hate this episode.
aware
Sure.
that fans of TOS might be unsettled by this dismissal of the familiar timeline stated in a 2008 interview with TrekMovie.com's Anthony Pascal that the changes established in his movie didn't actually impinge on the original timeline. Referencing Data's speech and graphic from, this is what I was going to tell you in my notes. From the TNG episode Parallels, Orsi said, Data summed up quantum mechanics as theory that all possibilities that can happen do happen in a parallel universe. According to theory, there are going to be a much larger number of universes in which events are very closely related because those are the most probable configurations of things. Asked Pascal, so everyone in the prime timeline, like Picard and Riker, are still off doing their thing? Responded Orsi, yes. And you will notice that when the movie comes out, that whatever DVDs you have purchased will continue to exist. And then on page 332, it has the phonics guide to singing the Happy Birthday song in Klingon.
Mm.
And that is all the block text has to say about Parallels. Bossman, what'd you think of the coverage and what'd you think of the episode?
Well, I guess it's interesting coverage. I didn't know that about. I actually
Will direct for food.
Oh yeah, you like that?
You should have put pizza. Will direct for pizza.
Well, food in general. Hey, look, he's not picky. He needs money.
So you got food. A lollipop communicator again.
Always a lollipop. It's a good ship lollipop. So
funny.
You know, I didn't really know that about the Orsi and Klutzman.
Yeah.
Deriving. I mean, look, it's not like, multi-universe stuff. It's not like this episode invented it anyway. So it just shows you how lame they are. They happened to watch an episode. Woo. So, yeah, that almost makes me want to hate them. I mean, their episodes, I think, are way worse. I think the problem with this episode is when it went in with an interesting premise, it's just they didn't know how to handle it. It was really poorly handled. And to be fair to anybody, it's really difficult to write it because you're going to come out with gobbledygook when you got 40 minutes to explain all these quick cuts that you're making and all there's no explanation as why he keeps popping up in other universes, and there's no explanation how he gets back to his proper universe. It's lame. And then on top of all of that, they give us the horrific Troy Worf dynamic, which nobody likes it, including the two. What's her face? Marina Sirtis doesn't like it, and neither did Watts. I don't think Michael Dorn thought it was a good idea. So they may have said at the time they thought it was interesting, but they've gone to cons and said, "Oh, that's weird."
At the time they were typical of when we first started reviewing TNG, I had read about verified evidence that the cast hated the production crew. The production crew hated the cast. No one wanted to be there. Everybody hated the show. Like everybody spoke so negatively about it. And in this particular episode, apparently, basically what the word is, and this is verified obviously in the block text, is that they were willing to basically do anything by season 7 because they just didn't want to be stuck touching buttons.
Right. Well, good for them. They got their wish. They got a bunch of silly a gobbledygook story that just makes absolutely no sense. And on top of that, giving us that creep fest, you're going to stick Wesley in there to make it worse. So
he was so bad seeing him.
Seeing all the other Enterprises pop up, that was kind of interesting and stuff. And then seeing, I'm not so sure, I guess that a Riker from a universe that desperate might, actually, one of the interesting parts was when they were on that Enterprise where Riker was captain because, Picard had died. That kind of stuff's okay. Hello, the Woke Breaker.
Hey, Woke
Welcome,
Breaker.
good to see you. That kind of stuff, sure. Like I said, you can do interesting things with other type realities and stuff like that. It's just really ham-fisted. They did not handle this episode very well at all. I thought it was just poorly executed as an idea standpoint. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of takes me out of it. What are your notes, by the way?
Oh, here's my notes, boss. Data's painting is making me dizzy. I just absolutely love that quote. Loaxana is a risk I'm willing to take. That Worf says when discussing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's great. Worf's reaction to being married and being kissed by Troy is hysterical. This is a weird pairing, and I love his reaction. And then underneath, I put Mr. Woof's heavy metal hair is unleashed. When she takes his hair down, remember that old country song, Take the Ribbon from My Hair?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's just ridiculous. And then I put in yelling all caps, blue-eyed Data. And then in yelling all caps, yuck, Wesley, barf.
Ugh.
And then I put, I love this quantum physics. This is great. Probably needed a two-parter and some direction scientifically. Returning to the Troy disappointment is weird. More drama and soapy than science fiction. This is a weird writing choice. I just thought that it was weird that after we totally went into the quantum physics and we got away from this strange pairing between these two people, that Troy was acting really disappointed. Again, we sucked up all of this air. We sucked up all the oxygen in the room for Troy's disappointment, and I wanted that time to be dedicated to this idea of quantum physics. Anyways. And all these parallel universes.
Yeah.
I never liked the double designation. So one thing that I hate about this episode is the double designation. And if you are a keen Star Trek fan, you notice it as well. There is no reason for Pip and Delta to be displaying rank and signaling rank. It's superfluous. I think it's just strange. I don't understand it. Why would you need that? If you look on someone's collar, you know their rank. You shouldn't then also look at their delta, and it also has their rank. It's annoying and dumb, and it's like, okay, look at my chest. Now look at my neck. Look at my power. It's like, no. Weird that Riker asks if they sent the right ship, and he doesn't say shuttle. And why would he doubt Picard? He asked for the Curie, Marie Curie, obviously, right? And he got it. And then I wrote, Riker is a coward in another universe. That's disappointing. I do like the cool shuttle scene when all of the Michael Dorns, all of the Mr. Woofs fold back into one another. Deanna and Worf together is totally weird. It's not something people can get over. Worf should be with a Klingon female. We know that sexual desire is very primal. It's very physical, and it just does not suit the Troy character at all. And then my final note is, I love Michael Dorn. And that's all I have to say about this episode.
Welcome, Captain James T. Skywalker. Hello there, bro. Yeah. Like I said, I guess an interesting premise that had maybe spots, but I don't think it was particularly handled all that well. So, what is your review or your rating of Parallels?
Well, this episode should actually be about an A-. It has all of the science fiction that I want. And it's getting into a concept that I was very interested in at the time, this whole idea of quantum physics. There's a wonderful movie called Mind Walk that everyone should watch. And it's just absolutely wonderful. It talks about quantum physics and how to, get your mind around this idea of quantum physics. But because of this weird thing where they're putting this very frail and sensitive woman with someone who would desire someone who is very primal and physical, and there's even violence in intercourse with Klingons, and that we keep returning to it, and that we suck up all that oxygen in the room when we should be talking about this idea of the quantum physics. And we keep visiting them in Worf's quarters, and she keeps expressing her disappointment for not being able to be with them and stuff. It's just weird, and I hate it. But I love Michael Dorn. But the whole being with Troy thing is weird, and it ruins the episode. There are some great moments here. This could have been the Michael Dorn episode that deserves, like a 9.5 out of 10. But that's not what happened here. Instead, we waste all of this time and energy on this BS. So it's just a C for me.
I got you. And by the Canadian Spidey, good to see you there. Welcome, bud. I'm gonna go with it. Probably should be high, shouldn't be quite so low, but I'm gonna go with making it a D plus, only because they stick Wesley in there, and it's got that. I just thought it was, it's not fair. Probably should be closer to like a C or something, but because at least had some interesting ideas. In fact, all right, look, I'm gonna go ahead and change it. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna say a C only because it was I like some like you. Look, Mirror Mirror is my favorite episode. I'm a sucker for parallel universes and all that other kind of stuff. I thought the idea, and there was all kind of interesting stuff, but like you, it kept diverting to this stupid stuff with Troy and Worf, which is terrible mismatch. In some of the universes, they have kids and like what? It's just not like it was even like a fling type thing. When you're going to do a story this broad, you need a couple, like a lot of episodes, you need two-parters, to really flesh it out a little bit more, to know more about it.
Well, that's just it. Like think about this, boss. Like, she's so feminine. She's so ultra feminine, Troy, that she won't even kiss a man who has a beard. So this is a woman who loves chocolate cake and bubble baths and champagne and gentle touch and romance.
She's no Dax.
She's no Dax. And if she is unwilling to even kiss a man with a beard and will sit down and shave a man's beard off, what the heck is she doing with Worf?
It's really dumb.
Yeah, Worf needs a girl who will go quadding with him, that will fight back to back with him, that that will create this beautiful amorous state that's filled with energy and perspiration and passion. And it's just, she's way too gentle. This is somebody who sips champagne very gently, eats chocolate. She has lots of feelings. She's very delicate, very feminine, and won't even kiss a man with a beard, and just hates violence. She doesn't like any violence of any sort.
It's so bad.
How could she be with Worf? If they were going to do that, let's say that these people on set, they were doing this thing that you and I absolutely hate, and that is changing Star Trek for the actors at the actors' request. Okay, so let's say that we're going to go ahead with this idea. Boss, Captain, why didn't they make Troy change? Why, if they were really after that, they weren't after shock value, why wouldn't they make Troy in another universe a little tougher, a little more sexually amorous, a little bit more like her mom, like a little bit like Loaxana, and she can, go out quadding and fire a gun or whatever, right? Like, it's just dumb. And the reasoning for it is dumb. It's dumb, dumb, dumb.
Terrible. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, good to see you. And it says, Sporky Braid. Oh, well, the dump braid. Hello to the dump. Shout out to Scott.
Yes.
Well, okay. I went ahead and I decided to be nice to give it a C minus. And you gave it a what?
I gave it a plain old C.
Okay.
I mean, I think it deserves a C, but it's just such a missed opportunity. I just want to qualify that I would love to give this episode an A minus, but we would need to extract all of the Deanna Troi out of it. It would need to be extracted, sucked out into space and airlocked so that we could just watch Michael Dorn explore this idea of quantum physics and parallel universes and all that. That would have been fun.
I'm with you there because it had some interesting ideas, and seeing Wesley certainly didn't help either. So,
and he saves the day again.
Oh, Wesley saves the damn. Oh my God,
He
All right,
saved the day
oh.
again. He gave them the out boss.
If you're gonna show us Wesley, at least kill him since it's a disposable universe anyway. It's a disposable universe anyway. Just kill him for us. Sure. Give the fans a treat. So anyway, all right, we're gonna go down and take your reviews. The word is given, everyone. Give your any rating and review you may have of Parallels, and while you're doing that, I will get us some entertainment. What do you think?
Dun, 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 dun.
So, number one is getting your reviews ready, and now for some limerick entertainment by the great Max Redstone. All right, Parallels by Max Redstone. Here we go. Everyone ready? Here we go. Worf traverses an interdimensional crack. Boy, howdy, do things start to get whack. Things change before his eyes. Filling space with Enterprise. Oh, okay. Now I got to start over. I didn't see what he was going to do there. I should have I should pre-read. Who's ready? We're going to start all over again, folks. Sorry. I'm an idiot. Here we go. Everyone hearing me okay?
Boss, before you go any further, take a breath. One of my favorite people is here. Ooh. Toxic Man Flu is here.
DMF.
And what's Mrs. Up, DMF. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses for both of your faces.
Hail to you and the missus. Thank you for popping this. Very great to see you. Okay, now let me start that now that I figured it out. Here we go. Parallels by the great Mac Redstone. Here we go. Worf traverses an interdimensional crack. Boy, howdy, do things start to get whack. Things change before his eyes is filling space with Enterprises just to avoid a surprise birthday attack.
Oh, whoa! Fun.
Stellar, Max. Stellar indeed, sir.
Wonderful.
Nice. There we go. All right, so here we go with our reviews, our viewer reviews. Here we go. Michael Beacom says, a tad late. Again, this is from his first, his early, a tad late, but review for Inheritance. So on Inheritance, our previous episode, he says, see, all the problems solved if her husband knows about her, loves her anyway, and will do anything to protect her from reality. Thank you. That was on the previous episode, everyone. Inheritance. Dave G Sound says now we're on Parallel says B minus. Okie dokie. Thank you, Dave G Sound. And Pleasant Valley Picker says A-OK. A gives it an A. Sorry, I thought you meant A-OK. No separating thing there. All right. Pleasant Valley Picker, you should never have to. First of all, I'm going to start out before. There's no hate. You can like anything you want to like. You can dislike anything you want to like. That's what we're all about here. And he likes the episode, perfectly fine. We don't. I mean, it's cool. Maybe other people do too. We don't know. A says Pleasant Valley Picker. Okay, bring the hate. I loved this episode. Always enjoyed a Worf episode. Thought the multi-universe was fun. The JJ crap, meaning Jar Jar crap, of course, didn't exist then, so it doesn't exist now for me. It is irrelevant. Still, maybe I'm old and senile. Well, you can't be older than me, and I am senile, so.
Plus, we respect all opinions here, and we respect our viewers here. So any feelings you have about this, it just makes the show more dynamic. We're not here to have people agree with us. We're here to celebrate Star Trek and all of its dynamic, all of its dynamic followers and people who love it. And everybody has a different opinion about it. It doesn't have to line up with ours, BC.
Mr. Angel says fracket rating. Rating is 2 emojis. I'm not sure what your rating is. Fracket rating emojis. I don't know what they are or what that means. I don't know but we'll just go on. I'll read it anyway, though, buddy. Welcome to the ultimate plot armor device. Don't mind me loading my shotgun. I just want to talk to them. I swear this episode does not exist in my parallel universe. Thank God. Okay, so I don't know what his actual rating is, but I'm going to go out on a limb and extrapolate that he does not like it very much. How about that? Which is fair enough. Zathra says D. Dorn needs Dax, and Wesley sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Zathras? this is for you.
Crap, 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 crap.
Just for you, buddy. And for everybody. Anyone who doesn't like that was for all who don't like it. Those who like it, you're fine. But for those who don't, there you go. Raymond says, C, stupid writing. Quantum physics always makes my head hurt. Worf saves the episode. Spoiler alert, good thing Worf moved up with Dax in DS9. Yes, agreed. Yeah. She's more beautiful and she's tough beyond belief. So Eric K says A+++. Greatest of all Star Trek. Well, I will give it a C-. I guess he was leading us on that. A concept that good writer, a concept that good writers could have gotten right.
Yep. Some
wrong plots, but could have been good. Wesley is the man. Clobby is the man. Clobby is happy.
He just wanted to get you to read that.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I'm just so happy to see Wesley. I mean, you think they could have thrown us a bone, and since he was like a different Wesley, could have like had him get stabbed in the face or something.
I just hate that he turns to Michael Dorn. He turns to Worf as the Worf is a complete moron, even though he outranks him. And he's like, "Well, this could take a while." It's like he comes up. The sky opens up, and Wesley has the answer to all their problems. And they just have to give him some time. Once again, he saves the day.
In that universe, Wesley was at ops for some reason. I don't get that. But anyway.
Yeah.
Eric K. Says, Eric Carroll, sorry. Hello, Eric Carroll. Thank you again. B, this episode is so stupid that it makes great comedy. Fair enough. It is wacky. It's a little wacky, I'd say. Yeah. Ugly Boy says, Wesley 2, barf.
Right? Barf.
He didn't watch it. So.
Oh, Raymond?
Oh, that's for you, Raymond. Guagnar says grade I think he believes C-. I think he means C-. Since they were dealing with alternate realities, it would have been cool to have Kalar back for an episode. Yes, it would have. Susie Plaxton.
And
that would have been nice.
And not only that, Kalar is so sexy. Like,
oh God,
and she's part human, but like she's brilliant. She can match him. Do you know what I mean? And certainly, at least she's willing to kiss a man with a beard.
That's messed up there. Well, I can see her. I wouldn't want to kiss any man anyway. So there we go. Toxic Command Flu. Good to see you, buddy. Says A+. One of 567 parallels are math. Math is good for things that need math. Math equals Worf, bang, prissy pants counselor, Camelhoof. You are a bad man.
TMF.
The wonderful Wendy Web Trauma Warrior. Hello there. Wendy says D+. There are some TNG episodes that alcohol makes better. This is not one of those episodes. If the writers made
ugly laugh.
If the writers made this a two-parter and stuck to the science, I could give it a higher rating while sober. Yeah, it could have. I mean, I think they should have fleshed it out better and left out some of the really some of that dumb crap that they put in there.
Yeah. That's a great review.
Comic Relief Crusader says, great D for deplorable. Counselor Camelto was only going to get this kind of action with a real man like Woof instead of Decker unit, but only because the quantum fissure made them. Please.
Yeah.
Here's your partner. Well, Wolfie says, rating A-. This is good sci-fi. Certainly not the first time this concept has been used and is now used ad nauseum for everything. Yeah, Wesley is a pain in the dom jot. Sorry. I got you. I see what you're saying.
Oh, that's really funny.
But this is who he should have been. Reserved and a functional member of the crew. Tactical is a nice change for him. He is actually guilty of destroying an Enterprise rather than saving one. But he did save the Worf in this one.
I love that though. Pain in the dom jot. I'm 100%
in the
using
dom
that.
jot. There you go. Mr. Wolf is still a terrible father and no subtle change in quantum vibration seems to ever fix that.
Yep.
All of the references to best of both worlds work pretty well here. Even give me the chills.
Oh, nice.
Cringeworthy stuff bugged me. If there are so many similar parallel universes with enterprises at these coordinates, would they not appear on top of one another? The Borg is everywhere. I don't know. Neat details have not confirmed this, but some of the bridge modification is from the future Enterprise D coming up in all good things. Okay, gotcha. The communicators with the rank built in from Future Imperfect. Oh, yep, I did notice that. Yes, you mean the comm badges? Yes, I'm glad they did not use this as the communicator going forward. Nice variant, however. Yes, I see what you're saying. The comm badge thingy.
But that's in my notes, and I stand by my comments, and I'm going to rant and pound my desk over that. If you're in the military and you wear pips and everyone can tell from your pips what your rank is, why is it on your delta? It should not be on your delta and on your collar.
I do not understand it either.
Do you know what I mean? Like, look at it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, head desk.
They don't look. They weren't paying attention. They're just doing their job and going home. They don't care. They're not Trek fans. Chris Burgess says, Raquel, you mentioned that Diana could never kiss a man. Deanna, I think she mean. Well, she wrote Diana, but it's Deanna. Yep. Could never kiss a man with a beard. Considering her father Ian was always clean shaven in the few pictures we see of him. Could Troy have had an Oedipus complex? I don't even want to think of that.
Maybe for a woman, it's called the Electra complex.
Okay.
And she might. I mean, Chris Persia's onto something. Remember, they were trying to use Sigmund Freud as much as they could in this.
I don't know.
So, coo.
There you go. Sandra says D. The story could have been much more robust. Seemed like they were trying to save money by reusing sequences. Not impressed with the Troy bit.
Yeah, me neither, Sandra. Right? Eric, Carol, you fine Irishman. I totally agree. Like, that's why I put that in my notes. It might seem like nothing to most people, but why would a military do that? It's unrealistic. It's not appropriate. You would not have pips and a delta to show rank. It's ridiculous. Why not just walk around with a trophy? Do you know what I mean? Have like a ribbon and a trophy. Like, it's dumb.
Max Redstone says, D-. I just want to take a moment to recognize the finest character we will ever realize in the TNG universe. That is the Grizzly Adams version of Commander Riker from the Borg-infested universe. This is a man whose experience and suffering made him a character of such finery that Brandon Braga would only allow him to exist on screen for 10 seconds. Aside from that, I hate this episode. Let's see here. Introducing the theory concept of quantum mechanics is fine. However, the way these writers executed it in such a ham-handed manner that one reality makes the others meaningless as a viewer. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. The Troy romance is cringe. Wesley is cringe. The sector full of enterprises should be cool, but was cringe. We're insulted as viewers. This mess is so big that even V'ger could not clean it up. No, not even
Eric Carroll says, why not just have your rank tattooed to your face? Good comment. Love it, Eric.
Phantom Outsider says C for the episode, A+++ for the quantum parallel where Decker is competent. Troy, Picard, and Wesley are dead. Jar Jar, Klutzman, and Shinballs. I think Shinballs were never born. And Kalar was in Worf's quarters with Jeremy and Alexander. I must have missed that part. I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from, though, Phantom. C for the great Kal-El, he says. Well, I do find the idea of a multiverse fascinating, and as it has been pointed out, TNG wasn't the first nor the last
No.
to explore this concept. It wasn't executed as well as it should have been,
Yeah.
with no explanation as to how Worf was moving from one universe to another,
Yeah.
and no solid explanation as to how he returned to his own. This episode leaves a lot to be desired. I'm right there on the same page with you, buddy.
Yeah, and there should have been multiple Worfs, right?
Right. I guess there should have been, but they will only see them on the shuttle.
Yeah, and that's like the cool scene, like when we get back to like maybe exploring the science of having parallel universes and whether or not you would see yourself or not. Would there be different versions of yourself? Would you have completely different personalities? We don't explore any of that. It's just
Michael Bingham says, "C. This should have been Worf's own wonderful life." Sigh. Read Troy change. Would love to see Worf come home and Deanna comes to the door wearing quasi battle armor.
Yes. And then their excuse of changing the show so that they weren't bored button pushers makes sense. But you don't leave her the frail girl who's scared of a beard, eating chocolate and sipping champagne, and think that we're going to accept her as Jadzia Dax or as Kalar. We're not going to do that. Nope.
And nothing else, of course. Wearing that and nothing else. With a lecherous smile, the block text attributed the path that led to the filth to the episode's multiverse concept. Yep. Such wasted opportunities.
Yep.
Toxic man flu. A plus and a 2 out of 567. Worf plows the Riker hand-me-down fields like a true Klingon warrior. No matter how much sand is in the camel toe, we will not give up until the enemy. I'm not saying that word. Not that I'm not approved, but I got a channel algorithm to worry about. Has been defeated. I can't believe it. I just should have reread that. You would think that in at least one parallel universe, Wesley was not annoying, but no, he's interdimensionally annoying. Yes, sir, he is.
Interdimensionally annoying. I believe TMF just won the internet for this evening. Everyone, you just heard this on Saturday Night Star Trek. Wesley Crusher is interdimensionally annoying.
Love it. It should go up. That should be posted everywhere. Thank you, TMFP. I mean, Mega Cropper says C+.
Okay.
Pleasant Valley Picker says, we want to know what you think. I gave it an A-, but who's he talking? Pleasant Valley Picker. He's asking Pleasant Valley Picker.
Yeah.
It really blew my mind as a kid. Didn't he already give us a review? Picker already gave us one.
I think he did.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I saw a discussion about rating and just flagged it immediately, boss.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm confused on that one, so someone can.
And Rob Altus just walked through the door.
Well, hello there, Rob Altus. Welcome. Good to see you. Okay. Toxic Man Flu says, like Lazarus, Wesley is beloved for all the wrong reasons. Wesley blows, of course. True. Dave G Sound says, always wondered what the point of adding a plus to a grading of D.
Okay, I can explain this.
Okay.
As a college instructor, I will let you know now that a rating, a letter grade rating, is generated from a percentage in the background. So it helps us to aggregate your overall score. So when someone here uses D+, you know that they almost want to give it a C. They almost want to pass it, but they just can't. They have too many reservations. There are too many points against the episode. Whereas D-, that's dangerous territory. A lot of Trekkies seldom give a full-on F. So a D- would be akin to that. So, or close to that, should I say. So it is from a score of 1 to 100, and they're just showing that they're inching towards giving a better grade or inching towards giving a worse grade.
If you will now do the honors for our good buddy Enigmatic Drop Bear.
All right, I will go over to the star tab. Edie! Enigmatic Drop Bear has a 3-parter here, and he's going to give this episode a D+. He says, the concept underpinning this story has so much potential, but its development was woefully inadequate. I totally agree. The end result was a very clumsy story. Totally agree, sweetheart. Totally agree. Preach. Preach! 2 of 3. The copied and pasted Enterprise sequences were pretty funny, but really, they only served to further compromise the integrity of the scientific concepts being espoused. I totally agree. And 3 of 3. Ultimately, this was an exercise in tedium, shrouded in hocus pocus. They should have known they were birthing a stinker when they decided to bring back Wonder Kid Wesley back to solve all their problems. Yep. Edie, drop the mic and walk away. This was perfect. Thank you very much.
Inanna Moss, welcome. Inanna Moss said,
Hey!
so this episode is probably a D- where Strange New Worms episode will be a total F. Well, everything about Strange New Worms is an F. It's all trash. Yeah. It's not real trash. And I can't believe I let you make me mention it.
Oh, Chris just put one up. Boss, did you see that one? Yeah.
I've decided to give this a rating B+. Brandon Braga managed to showcase that Wesley is a Nexus being. He is a constant in every reality, constantly suck, that is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is. I'm with you there, buddy. So are we ready to move on to our 3rd episode of the evening, number 1?
We are.
All righty then. Well, let's go for it. The next one, extra episode is the Pegasus, folks.
The Pegasus, also known as, well, at least by me anyway, when Ronald D. Moore defies Gene's wishes that Starfleet wouldn't use cloaking and making a bridge officer into a dishonorable liar. Yes, folks, that is a very long title, but it's the title. And guess who just walked through the door?
Mr. Tickle Trunk, what's up, buddy?
Mr. Tickle Trunk. Hi, sweetheart.
Always great to have you here, buddy.
And he left a rating for that last episode.
Oh, he did?
And TMF just left you a gift.
Oh.
Very generous gift.
You are too kind, sir. Thank you so much. TMF says, wait, if Wesley is interdimensionally annoying and Star Trek douche covery is unilaterally a time-traveling collection of Klutzman dung, does that make Wesley the tardigrade? I'm with you. I think you're onto something right there, brother.
The mushroom. Very good.
You're onto something.
TMF is very clever.
Well,
I love his stuff.
Thank you for that. What did you say Mr. Tickle Trunk had for us? A rating?
Yeah, he left a rating from. It's up a little bit there. Yep, that's it.
Oh, rating is, I can't tell what that means. Something plus.
Yeah, I can't see.
Mr. Wolf is wrong. Absolutely every universe. It isn't wrong in absolutely every universe. And speaking counter has found her calling as a misuse. A misuse. Yeah. A masseuse? A masseuse, I think.
Masseuse, yes. Masseuse, or masseur, yes.
Yes, I got you. Thank you so much, Mr. Tickle Truck. You were too kind. So the
Comic Relief Crusader yells with superfluous exclamation points, Wesley is the shroom!
Oh, my goodness. Thank you
G25
so much.
says the tardigrade, perhaps. I apologize in advance.
True. No apologies necessary for spot on.
Yeah. So let's get back to it, folks. So the Pegasus is season 7, episode 12, and this first aired on January 10th, 1994. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. Please turn to page 333, where I will be reading extemporaneously. Eric Pressman, Riker's first captain, now an admiral, leads the Enterprise on a mission to retrieve his and Riker's old starship, the Pegasus, lost a dozen years ago with most of its crew. Time is of the essence. The ship has been spotted by the Romulans, who also hope to salvage it, but only Riker and Pressman know there's a secret on board that could destroy the Federation's tenuous truce with the Romulans. A Starfleet-developed prototype cloaking device that violates a long-standing treaty. Ron Moore had 2 wishes when he wrote the Pegasus. One was granted and one wasn't. I wanted to get to the heart of why the Federation didn't have a cloaking device, Moore states. He should have said Starfleet there, not the Federation. However, let's keep going. I mean, were they stupid? Everybody else in the galaxy had these devices. Gene Roddenberry's philosophy was that they don't have cloaking devices because it's sneaky, and the Federation isn't sneaky. Once again, he should say Starfleet there, but yes, you can use the Federation to go along with that. And yes, that is true. Gene Roddenberry did not want the Starfleet or the Federation using cloaking devices. And I'll explain why later. But I'm glad that the block text says that. And Ronald D. Moore continues to speak about Gene Roddenberry here, and I don't think I like the coming sentence. But it's an illogical argument, and I never bought it. I like the idea that there was a reason, an arms control treaty saying that was a way of preserving a certain balance of power. The Federation would not go in that direction. Of course, in the Pegasus, some faction in the Federation was trying to figure out a way of developing one anyway. And Riker knew about it, Moore continues. I love that. It put Riker in a bad light, which I thought was good for his character. A lot of times we would play the drama of one of our officers doing something to get the job done by defying regulations and breaking the rules. I always thought that's when they did that there. I always thought that when they did that, there should be consequences. Geez, this guy barely speaks English. They should get taken down a peg. There should be a reprimand. It's something I fought for a lot. I wanted to put Riker in jail for quite a while at the end of Pegasus, where he'd been found guilty of a large conspiracy. And I wanted Picard to leave him in the brig for about the next 3 months. But there was no way I could convince anybody of that. There is another tile, boss man. 334. I'll keep going. 2 decades ago, Michael Mack was an aspiring actor living in Washington, D.C. I didn't like a lot of roles that were available to Black actors there, and I wanted to go to Hollywood, Mack says. I didn't know how to act my way there, so I decided to write my way there. The head of the screenwriting program at Maryland University took a liking to Mack's work and gave him a valuable suggestion. Write the best script you can. Enter it in the Nickel Fellowships, a competition sponsored by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Do well, and then write to Star Trek and say that you want to write for the show because they're the friendliest to the outside writers. Mack wrote a historical drama for the competition and made the final cut. I sent the Nickel confirmation letter to Rick Berman and heard back. Congratulations on doing well. Send your script to Jerry Taylor. A year later, I was in Hollywood and as a writing intern. During his first conversation with Taylor, Mack mentioned that he'd like the opportunity to act on the show. I showed her my demo reel, and she said, let me know if there's a role you're interested in auditioning for, he recalls. Mack spotted a few interesting roles, but he wasn't right for them. Then came Commander Sorrell in the Pegasus. It was originally written for a woman, Mack notes. I said, I'd like to audition for this, Jerry said. Well, there's no reason why the character has to be female, but we've never had a Black Romulan. Why would she say that? We had a Black Vulcan, so why would she say that? Anyways, let's keep reading. Well, Romulans are related to Vulcans, so why would she say that? That's a weird thing to say. Anyways, nevertheless, she set him up for an audition, and that was Jerry Taylor who said that? That's weird. Anyways, especially because she's supposed to be the editor, right? Anyway, we really liked Michael, says Renee Echevarria, and we wanted him to get an acting break. But when we heard about it, Ron Moore and I looked at each other and said, yeah, but we should have never seen a Black Romulan. We told Jerry, shouldn't you give Michael an audition he could actually get? Oh my goodness, these people are stupid.
That's weird.
And Jerry said, there are black and white humans. Why wouldn't there be black and white Vulcans and Romulans?
Makes sense.
Well said. Oh, yeah, good point, Echevarria confesses sheepishly.
Wow.
Sheepishly, sorry. Of course, we could have had multi-races in any species.
Right.
It had never occurred to us. Well, these are the
Huh.
dumbest people alive.
Wow.
It had occurred to Mac, however. Yes, exactly. Look, Mac's actually smart. It had occurred to Mac, however, in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, when Spock relives his birth, the Vulcan midwife is black. Yes, he states the Vulcans and Romulans are cousins. Exactly.
There were Asian
So, of
Vulcans in
course,
Star Trek 3.
yeah, so of course you could have a black Romulan. Yes, and they're Asian from Star Trek 3. Yes, Clubby. With his deep, mellifluous, mellifluous, so honey sounding voice, Mac turned out to be a perfect choice for the smoothly threatening Sorrel. I didn't know he was an intern on the show, director LeVar Burton says with a laugh. I'm glad I didn't know, because I was just looking for the best Romulan to be on screen. Star Trek has always pushed the boundaries of what we as people look like. Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future has always been really comforting to me. And that is all the block text has to say about the Pegasus. So we learn that a lot of people involved in writing this show are complete nincompoops.
Yeah, we often do, don't we?
Yes.
Well, I like Terry. I'm a big fan of the actor Terry O'Quinn. Great actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's been great in a lot of stuff. I'm not too super keen on this episode, but I like an episode that at least challenges me. With regards to the question about what makes me, this episode at least makes me think about something. And there have been a few times in other Star Treks, usually later ones, not so much before, where I fundamentally disagree with what is being laid down in terms of whether it's, I don't care if it's Roddenberry, whomever. I fundamentally disagree with the Federation not being able to have cloaking devices since the Romulans and the Klingons have them, and this treaty. Why would you sign a treaty that allows one side to have them, but you can't have them? So I never could, cloaking device will keep your. That doesn't mean you have to use them sneakily. It's just sometimes you could be safer with one. A ship could be. I think a ship could benefit. I kind of like that on the Orville, where they said to hell with the shuttles have cloaking devices. There's nothing illegal or immoral or illegal. There's nothing immoral about a cloaking device. So I don't agree with it fundamentally. I think it's smart to have one. Your ship would be a hell of a lot safer. But that's the way it is, and it's against the. That's fine. He broke the rules. I don't know. The whole episode just always kind of rubbed me the wrong way because of a lot of that stuff. So I don't really. I mean, it's interesting. It's well done in some ways. It's well acted anyway because of Terry McQuinn. This is not an episode that I like that much. And I'm sick of Rogue Admirals. Good God. I know this is one of the early ones, but still. Yeah. Rogue Admirals. What is it with these people with the Rogue Admirals? I don't think the original series, you had a rogue captain once. It's about it, right? That I can think of. I mean, don't count Decker. He went kind of nuts in Doomsday Machine, but he was not
being different.
Right. He was he wanted to defeat the
he had what would have been called at the time shell shock.
Right.
He was having a complete and utter nervous breakdown.
Exactly. But Ron Tracy, okay, fine. And again, also, Garth of Izar doesn't count. He had mental problems, So, but it seems with the Berman Trek stuff, bad admiral after bad admiral after bad admiral. I just kind of, I'm not saying you should never do it, but I guess seeing this now after seeing it so many other times, even though I saw this originally when it came out, going back to it, every time I see a bad admiral episode, I'm like,
yeah.
So at least this episode's problems, but I just overall don't really care for it a lot.
Yeah, I don't like this episode either. I know it's really popular with the filth people, like the last episode we just reviewed, right. But I don't like this episode either.
Yeah. So notes.
You just received a wonderful gift from.
I got a couple.
That 70s rock fan.
That stored. I can take care of those real quick if you want before we get to the
you
notes.
Go ahead. I would like to give the floor over to our wonderful viewers.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you so much for the. Sorry, no, you don't have to. You didn't have to super chat just to correct that, my friend. But I want to say I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Says sorry, Autocrat called her a manure. Well, so, a lot of people have called her manure. So, sorry, but thank you so much for that. We're not ready for reviews yet, folks. I'm just checking the. I'm just checking the. I don't. Did you turn it over? I think they're going to start their reviews now. Don't start reviews yet. All hail, Counselor Deanna. A manure. Someone the entire crew wants to be downwind of. Thank you for the $5 super chat. TMF, you're too kind, buddy. You're hilarious too.
I love hanging out with him. He's so funny.
You're the man. Thank you so much. That's 70s rock, man. Kamloops, you shouldn't have. You're too kind, buddy. Thank you so much for that. He says, Counselor D. Anna, a manure, was advisor to Captain Poupard, who the crew wanted to be upwind of. Wow, you opened a floodgate there.
You did.
With the manure
stuff. Stuff.
So, yeah, love it. Nicely done. Thank you so much for those kind super chats, my friends. Appreciate it. So go home with your notes about the Pegasus.
Okay, so I also agree about this whole thing about Starfleet having cloaking technology. However, I never came up with Star Trek. And as an author myself, and as somebody who teaches writing, I think it's really important to make sure that the person who made the story, who invented the story, who is the creator of the story, that we follow their in-universe ideas.
Yes.
And so for me, here, I don't like them going against Gene Roddenberry. I just don't like it. I don't ever like it when they do that, because you don't wait for someone to die and then you start changing their product, their writing, their storyline, their in-universe rules. And people should not give me any BS about how, it's got to change and grow and all that stuff. If you want to write your own story and you don't like the story so much that you want to change it, then you shouldn't be writing for it. Go write your own thing, shut your mouth, staple your mouth shut, and go and create something yourself. Let's see if you can come up with something as big as Star Trek. Anyways, that's what I don't like. I don't like waiting for someone to die and then doing that. Yes, exactly, Eric.
I'm big time about that, respecting creators, for so many people. And this has happened in comics and many other things there, Eric Carroll. You're exactly right.
And I don't like the fact
creations of others.
Yeah, and I also don't like the fact that it's compounded on all of this dishonorable behavior. Gene Roddenberry really wanted us to have a utopian universe, something we could look forward to, something to aspire to, something to give us hope. We were supposed to be inspired. People at NASA were supposed to be inspired by this idea of becoming greater than we are. And so I don't like it. It's compounded there. So here are my notes. It feels like a decently written spy story. But this isn't Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. This isn't a Gene Roddenberry or Star Trek story. It just isn't. Gene would have never have allowed this. Every military has covert ops, but Riker is an astronaut, not in special ops. He's not a special ops scientist. He's not a special ops researcher. This is science fiction, not CIA stuff. Now, it's important to say that, because, this spy stuff, authors know this, writers, professional writers. And I don't mean people just sitting at home. There's a study that says that over 85% of North Americans believe they have a book in them. They just need time to write it. I don't mean that. I mean actual professional writers know that these spy stories sell at a much higher rate than science fiction. So you can see why they're going here, but they shouldn't. So I'm going to go on in my notes. The Treaty of Algeron ensures multiple Federation members aren't skulking around developing covert weapons unbeknownst to its fellowship with multiple planets and species. So I find it very revealing that Ronald D. Moore kept on saying the Federation instead of saying Starfleet, when he should be using the Starfleet when he should be saying Federation. So this is very important, because you would have hundreds of planets that you would have to get on board with these ideas. And then I put in my notes, spy stories historically sell at a much higher rate than science fiction. Star Trek is sci-fi. So people need to realize that that's very important. When you start writing a spy novel, you know good and well it's going to sell like crazy. People are going to watch it, like it appeals to a very wide, broad audience. You could sell millions and millions and millions of copies of a spy story. People love spy stories. They also love those murder and mayhem, like the chronicling people who got killed and things like that. They love that kind of stuff. But that's not the genre. The genre is supposed to be science fiction, and people need to realize that. And then the rest of my notes, I said there is absolutely no scientifically valid reason that human bodies exposed to open space for 12 years would be so nearly freshly pink and just lying about. Certainly not after being brought up to room temperature after 12 years of being exposed to the vacuum of space. The whole thing when we go on the Pegasus is weird, weird, weird.
Right.
And I put my final note on this was, this is a great story for children about telling the truth. So the redeeming, the silver lining in this story would be that it would be great. It would be a great example to show to children, explaining to them why they should always tell the truth. Other than that, this is just Ronald D. Moore, tramping all over, crapping all over, tramping, rolling around in his own feces, finger painting in his own feces. This whole thing where we would take this beautiful utopia, we would make all these dishonorable liars, we would not like Riker anymore. Starfleet would have suspect policies, and the utopia falls apart. And we also have to abandon science fiction so that we can watch this spy story about how Ronald D. Moore wants Star Trek to be instead of how Star Trek is. So kind of insulting.
I always think, I mean, look, I know he has a lot of fans. You and many people that I respect greatly are fans of his new Galactica, but
That's
whether
right.
it's good or not, I still think he has a tendency and a propensity to take wholesome good things and drag them down into the sewer and
Into darkness.
put mud all over them.
Yeah.
And even though that doesn't make that show bad or anything like that, but still, the original Battlestar Galactica was something that was very wholesome and kind of a family show, and he took that down into the gutter. I wish it had been called something else. But, again, that doesn't mean those aren't good. A lot of wonderful people love those shows, and that's great. But people seem to there's certain people that like to take something that isn't and turn it to what they want it to be. In this case, he takes Star Trek and he likes to drag it down into the sewer a lot. I've noticed, just like he did with that. That doesn't invalidate how many people like that show, because I respect you and others who like it. I'm simply saying he does seem to like to do that a lot. And this one, it's just not Trek. And by the way, what is this crap of all of a sudden? Did I miss something? Or did it, when they needed to find some way out of the asteroid, they added a new superpower to the cloaking device. It's not now just a cloaking device, even though it's from 12 years earlier. Somehow it can phase the entire ship through a friggin' rock. That's magic-y stuff.
Yeah, it is. And it's crap. As Zathras would say, it's crap, crap, crap.
Mark D's here. Look at that.
Hey Mark.
What's up, buddy? Hope you had a great night. So, yeah, what is that? So those were your notes on Pegasus.
So yeah, I don't like, if you don't like Star Trek, don't write for Star Trek. Star Trek is a utopia,
nice.
and Gene Roddenberry had some rules about it in order to maintain that beautiful universe that he created and cultivated. And if you don't like it, don't write for it. And, it's okay for the filth people to like this. That's all fine and good. But I will tell you as a professional writer that turning to spy, CIA, secret society stuff in science fiction is an appeal to people, to the general audience, not to science fiction fans. So he's threefold. He's gone wrong here. He went against Gene's rules, and he went against Star Trek. this whole idea of this cloaking device, and he doesn't understand that in universe it would have many consequences. Number two, he turned everyone into a dishonorable liar. He destroys the utopia that Gene Roddenberry created. And number three, he turns to a spy genre because he knows it has mass appeal, because he finds it difficult to write just pure science fiction, hard or soft. And so it's a threefold disaster here for me. And yeah, and I love your comments about phasing out of the asteroid. Just absolutely ridiculous.
He's into his. I've noticed that his propensity is towards cynicism rather than the Roddenberry optimism. I mean, all fine and good, but don't do it with somebody else's dream. Do your own. Just like he did it to Galactica. That wasn't his to do it with either, but he had the blessing to do it. That's what he seems to like to do, and he'll take someone else's work and do that to it, which is why I have a big problem with him. Mm-hmm. And he's into cynicism and dark drama rather than the pure science fiction. To me, he couldn't write science fiction if his life depended on it. He could just use a science fiction premise to write his own dark cynicism and drama into it. And that's why I have problems with him. But anyway, this is that, and it's not particularly compelling. And yes, it's not just like someone says, it's not just a cloaking device. Obviously, it's not. It's almost like a TARDIS. It can dematerialize and rematerialize somewhere else. Or
that's a very good point.
It phased through the asteroid. I'm like, again, I don't remember them mentioning that until it just all of a sudden pulled it out of their ass at the end.
I agree. And that's an incredibly good point.
What is your rating of the Pegasus?
Well, you're going to be shocked because everyone knows in real life I am actually an instructor, teach adults, and I don't like to give bad grades. I just don't. I'm somebody who likes to grade things really high because I want to give people hope, and I want to encourage people to learn, to be inspired to learn. So I don't like giving this grade, and everyone's going to be shocked because I very rarely give it. But I'm giving this an F for the threefold disaster that it is. And I know everyone's going to be shocked, but it's getting an F, boss.
Yeah. I got it at a D. I was actually going like a C- before, but I decided, or maybe like a D+. But I go to a D because I don't know. The whole thing, none of it really works for me, even as a drama. I like Terry O'Quinn. I did not find it. I think the idiocy of, and like you said, I understand what you're saying. Wolfie, you're saying it's not even a cloaking device. That's true, but they kept calling it one, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And then all of a sudden now it's a cloaking phasing. So I'm going to go with a D+, I guess, just to, but I understand your F, and I understand because it does violate, like a lot of episodes, it violates its.
And I can't even get excited and joke around with everyone and call for the CLOBBERIN and ask Wolfie to take the tarp off the CLOBBERIN and tell Hungry Boy to fire it up and get it going. I'm not even excited to giggle about this because it wasn't like the team failed here. It's that this is intentionally going against the story world that was created here, and doing it intentionally and doing it in a way that is a form of vandalism. And it's just this entire episode should be permanently erased. There's no need for it. And this is a huge slap in Gene Roddenberry's face. And it if you're an intelligent fan, it should be a slap in your face too. If you wanted to watch a spy show, you could watch a spy show. This is supposed to be science fiction. So go write your own thing. If you don't like it so much, go write your own thing. Okay? Quit complaining about it. Quit bitching about it. Quit trying to turn it into something you like. Go write something you like if you're so awesome.
Wow, there you go. Well, yeah. Hey, look, and again, I'm sick of bad admirals. That's getting on my nerves too. Anyway, all right, everybody. Okay, please give us any rating you may have and any words you may have about the Pegasus. And while you are doing that, I will put number 1 on starring detail, while I get us some Max Redstone entertainment. Are we ready?
Dun, 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 dun.
All right,
now for something completely different.
That was something completely different. A man with a tape recorder up his nose. Here we go. All right. The Pegasus by Max Redstone. All right. Will Riker's first ship disappeared. His first captain comes aboard and things get very weird. It will be no cakewalk. Caught between the Romulans and a rock. It seems Riker was stolid long before he grew a beard. Wow. Nice. Nicely done, Max. Thank you so much.
So bad too, because Riker was written as like this by the book guy, and now this entire vision that we have of this by the book guy is gone. And also he's a liar. So he's a liar, and he knows that he did the wrong thing. He says, oh, like here we are now in this present moment, and I should have picked up a phaser and I should have taken you into custody. It's so bad. It's like it's destroying characters. It's destroying hope. It's so bad. I'm just going to stop talking about it.
No, I got you. I'm with you. I hear you. Star 'em. Let's see. Now you got a bunch starred. I will begin while you're doing that. While you continue that. Dave G. Sound says, A, the political intrigue of the policy dispute made this very interesting and even perhaps educational regarding arms races and public agreements to foreign powers. Thank you so much, Dave G. Sound. We appreciate it. We'd like to get everyone's opinions.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thank you for that. Guagnar says grade as C minus, as I think he means minus or either a C with the separator. I always get that confused. As a standalone episode. Grade F plus as part 1 of the Enterprise episode. These are the voyages. Yeah. I loved Enterprise, but that last episode was terrible. And I was going to mention it earlier, but I figured it wasn't, I didn't think about it, but it was, yes, tied into that. So when you're watching this episode, it always made me go, when did he ever get time to go screw off on the holodeck to watch an old episode of Enterprise? Mm-hmm. That never happened. So yes, Wagner, true. And that was terrible. Okay. Max Redstone says D minus. OMG. Oh my God. Or say it like Higgins on Magnum. Oh my God, Magnum. It's Captain Picard Day. Yeah, that was funny.
I'm a role model.
That was
I'm sure you are.
That is the only highlight. Yeah, I admit that scene was funny there, Max. Highlight of an episode that could have been more. This is made worse by the series finale of Enterprise. I was going to mention that tie-in. Yeah, this is a bigger disaster than disaster.
Yep.
Nice.
I agree.
The Comic Relief Crusader. C minus. I like this episode as the military side of things always look for any strategic value, and it's rather dumb that the Federation wasn't allowed to have the same tech other races had. Why not? Well, look, I absolutely fundamentally agree with that, even though I love Gene. I don't understand why they would sign a treaty like that, but if Gene says it, he's still the boss, and I just think you follow it, and that way, and just don't do an episode about it. Because
I think a lot of people were really afraid of nuclear weapons, and there was a lot going on in the world. And if you grew up in the 1970s like I did, there is a big fear there. And so I think for Gene, it's in order to maintain this utopia, you would need to make the enemy the one that would be skulking around. And you would need to be very careful with these types of weapons and this type of security and the way that you behave. And it's also about getting hundreds of planets to agree with you. Ronald D. Moore uses the Federation and Starfleet interchangeably. At least that's what the block text would have us believe. And certainly they're not the same thing. If you don't know the difference between the Federation and Starfleet, you shouldn't be writing for Star Trek. And Scotty, R37, just walked through the door.
Hey, Scotty, welcome. Good to see you. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like I said, I mean, I'm just simply expressing a disagreement with that with I guess Roddenberry on that point. However, I don't always agree with things I see, even on Star Trek. So yeah. I just don't understand why they would sign an agreement where that they can have the technology, but we can't. That's just not the way they think. But hey, I got a lot of problems with some of the things I see on Star Trek, and I still love it. And that's what Star Trek should be able to do. That Dave Sound says,
and I'm going to reiterate, I totally agree with you. I think we should be able to have a cloaking device too. But you know what? Star Trek doesn't belong to me, and
right. I didn't create it.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you don't like something, you shouldn't be writing for it. And
Right.
so I take issue with that because you have to maintain the universe that that person created. And this is a marvelous universe. And we may agree with all or nothing in that
No.
universe
Right.
as authors ourselves. But if we're going to partake in that world, we have to respect the confines of that world as created by that particular artist.
Yeah, and maybe not do an episode like that if it's going to contradict things. Just kind of step around it. But it was
Hmm.
there. So in fact, they still sort of they stuck with it at least by the end of the episode. So it was
Yeah.
just one admiral being rogue, but so it's not like they contradicted Gene. They didn't say Gene. They didn't at the episode go, that policy's bad. We're changing it. They didn't do that. It's just
Yeah.
you had an admiral who was and others who were conspiring to basically circumvent the treaty. So
But Ronald D. Moore calling Gene out in the block text
yeah,
made
he's a
my blood
jackass.
boil. And a boss man, I just wanted to let you know that
Yes.
Mazurus has to call it a night. Everyone, please say
Good
good
night,
night to
Mazurus.
Mazurus.
Good night, Mazurus. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. Dave G Sound says, "Oh, it's fine. Face slapped. I enjoyed it. Hey, not slapped from here, buddy. It's just
Are you Klingon?
all yes. All opinions are welcome here, Dave G.
That's right. They sure
Pleasant
are.
Valley Picker says C minus or I don't know, or C. I don't know, sir. Do not remember it. Listening to you makes me think it was a very mediocre. Hence the rating. I hate to be negative. Look, it
Yeah.
can't kill you. Being negative if you just dislike something. That's the thing about me, and this is just me. Without I don't want to get too far into it. There, Pleasant Valley Picker. To dislike something and criticize, it's not negative. I mean, you just because it's not. If we did that to every single thing, but we have things we love, and we go nuts about how much we love them too. There's nothing wrong with having a critical opinion, and it never bothers me for someone to be critical of something. I mean, if you hate everything, then yeah, but that's not the case here. So, but thank you, Eric.
Boss man, could
Yes.
I interject? I beg your pardon. Please excuse me. I'm sorry. But one of our favorite people, Pop Culture Republic, Pop. He has to turn in. He's
All right.
exhausted. He's taken
Okay.
off. So don't let your arms get
Take care,
tired.
Pop Culture. Have a good one.
Good
Have a
night,
good
friend.
one. Eric Carroll says, D, this is Riker's worst moment. Wow.
It is.
And that's saying something. Zathreth says, A+ for Terry. Yeah, we like it. I like Terry. But this episode is hard to watch knowing how they used it in Enterprise. Yeah, but they're not really that connected, but I hear you. So episode as a whole gets a C+ from Zathreth. That's a pretty high rating for you. For you lately, that's a high rating, buddy. Raymond Feliciano says D-. They did spy stuff much better in DS9. They did. Yeah, here you go. Wendy Webb says D-. I hate repeating myself, but all the alcohol in the world can't make this episode better when binge watching TNG. This is an episode I'm more than happy to skip it. It isn't Roddenberry's vision.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Well said. Thank you so much.
And because we read that out loud, please drink responsibly.
Yes, please. Let's see. Michael Beacom says, D-. Dear Ron Moore, don't start by confessing to violating Gene's wishes.
Yeah.
Everything you say after that point is attempting to justify your stupid mistake. I threw stupid and I didn't say that. Federation would have cloaking detection tech. They should,
nice.
Yes. I would think they would, which they should. Yeah. Let's see here. He also says, insult to injury. You wasted the fantastic Terry O'Quinn on this.
Yes.
If you want to rip off the Enterprise incident, please leave my favorite actors out of it, okay? Well,
Michael
Beacom.
Stand up and take a bow.
I hear you.
I'm clapping for you, honey.
Dave G. Sound and others that should be done who do like it. This episode is very well regarded by a lot of people. So
it is.
It's highly regarded. It's not like you're alone. Toxic Man Flu says D for Dungeon.
Yes.
899.1 out of 199.2. Wow. Your math is blowing my mind. Even Counselor Camelhoof pegging a sus on the holodeck couldn't save this episode from venturing where Star Trek should never go. Wesley's porn stash. Wow. I'm just perfection. I don't know what to say.
It's just beautiful. It's
another
just,
one.
TMF is just, it's beauty. It's word beauty.
Cloak and Dagger is not Star Trek unless you are looking for a piece of the action. Oh, well, yeah. Of course, that makes sense. All right, let's see here. Oh, he has another one. And says, I thought Pegasus was Battlestar Galactica. Well, so did I.
Yes.
I blame interdimensional Wesley residual suckage on this one.
And it's so funny too, because I think this is after he did that interview with that magazine where he said that it was high time that he left Star Trek anyways, because he didn't want to wind up one of those older people who was going to the conventions talking about his greatest Star Trek days, and that's not what he wanted for himself in the future. And yet here he is.
Sounds like I would not like this guy in person. Wolfie says A-, with 2 battle stars. They're finished. I thought Ann Lockhart was amazing as Lieutenant Sheba. So did I. Lloyd Bridges and Commander Kane gave Adama a run for his money. Oh, wait, wrong Pegasus. By the way, I love that episode, Living Legend. That's a great episode of the original series. I love it. I do like this episode, but we have to swallow 2 things that bug me. Except a Starfleet admiral is a bad guy again.
Yes.
And mutiny aboard a Starfleet vessel. Yes.
Yes.
The Treaty of Algernon. I like Treaty of Algernon. I like this concept. No cloaking devices for you, Federation turds. At least for now. Who's to say some alien species knows how to track you anyway? Let's see here. Phasing cloak. I love it. Classic Trek body horror here with adequate explanation. Oberth class science vessel makes sense if you're testing something of this nature. Okay.
So the ship is right.
It's an Oberth. Yes. This device is described to not be a cloaking device as it functions has as a result that it is different from the cloaking shields that have been used thus far. Yeah, but weren't they calling it a cloaking device?
Yep.
Though?
And so did Ronald D. Moore.
Yeah, so phasing cloak. I mean, yes, all of a sudden they pulled out the phasing cloak crap, but that was at the very when you weren't expecting it. We just thought it was a cloaking device. So all of a sudden, hey, this thing can do this. So I'm just saying that was a little weirdly. I mean, it was not written very well. Phasing cloak does not appear to mask the power signature of the ship. Likely the most important thing cloaking shields do. It appears to be simply an experiment to pass through solid matter, which was really silly magic-y stuff to me.
Wendy Webb, don't worry about that. Absolutely, don't worry about that. Nothing was implied there. It's just when we have to be careful of the algorithm because Clobby is monetized. So in order to keep us open to the widest audience possible, we have to behave as they would on a typical radio station with like a general public listening. So no problem, and certainly no reflection on you. But whenever we talk about the tipple, we make sure that we say that so that we don't get ourselves, shuttered.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Look, we love you, Wendy. You're fine. Absolutely.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was anything. I can't remember what you said. So listen. Anyway, Wendy says Max Redstone is brilliant. So there's a review for the great Max Redstone. We all agree with that. Absolutely.
Yep.
I agree with that, Wendy. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Phantom Outsider says, every military is always seeking military advantage. After Enterprise incident, it was said Romulan cloaks were incompatible with Starfleet systems. The phase function is far more useful than the cloak being surrounded by enemy ships. The ability to phase puts your enemy in their own crossfire. Federation signed the Treaty of Romulan cloak tech was incompatible with Starfleet tech. So if you know your system won't support that tech is the reason they signed it. The cloak is a violation of the phasing. Violation of the phasing is not. Okay. Gotcha.
JD Lewis just popped in and said, I'm sorry, folks. I'm as sick as a dog and I keep rushing off to be sick. I'm going to bed now. Good night, friends. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. And then he sends a heart and he says, P.S. F The Pegasus is an epic fail. So that's his rating. I'll star it so you can show it on the marquee, boss.
Okay.
But I just wanted everyone to, like, he's actually rushing off to go be sick. So everyone, please say goodnight to
Okay.
JD Lewis. JD Lewis, I hope you're feeling well. Please go and
Right.
rest. And
JD,
sending
yeah.
you good vibes. And if you pray, everybody say a little prayer for JD Lewis, please.
feel better, my friend. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here, and I hope you get well soon. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, buddy. Eric K says D. This was when Riker was in control. He was Agent 99 to Pressman's 86. I love the show. Get Smart reference there. Great show. Barbara Feldman to his oh, God, what was the guy's name? Anyway, he more secret agency, even more than Section 31. The treaty thing. Don Adams, yes. The treaty thing, I never understood. Wesley would have fixed the ship and cloaked. Of course he would have.
So
Of
true.
course he would have. Kal-El.
Eric, I love that.
The great Super Kal-El says, D-. The Pegasus was another episode that unfortunately goes against the will of the great bird of the galaxy.
Yes.
With yet another admiral going rogue, one has to wonder if this episode also inspired the filth in some small way. While I do understand a younger Riker perhaps making the wrong choice of all those years ago on the Pegasus, he has had years of experience. I mean, yeah, him being young, screwing up was not that big of a deal for me personally. Since then, not to mention more than enough time to reconsider that decision. Even though Riker is far from my favorite character, portraying him in this way seemed to contradict the idea. Let's see, that Riker has since become a good officer and an honorable individual. This seemed at best a Section 31 type episode, at worst just a poorly written one.
Yeah, Kal-El, you're right there, and I totally agree. And it gets under my skin because, of course, Picard says to him, "This file is still open. You were supposed to be prosecuted. There was supposed to be a vigorous investigation into your activities herein, and yet no investigation took place. You're still guilty of these things." I mean, he confronts him on it. So it's just Ronald D. Moore taking out the Decker unit for no reason. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Dave G. Sound says, are you judging the episode as the story or the character and story comparison to the canon? Interesting question. I think personally, I can only answer for me. I'm enjoying. I think I'm just didn't find it particularly compelling. The bad admiral trope was something that, granted, at this point it wasn't as used as much, but now that we have all this stuff in hindsight of all the bad admiral stuff, I don't think it once in a while maybe, but I don't really like it here. They wasted Terry O'Quinn in my opinion. I just overall did not think it was a compelling story, and the fact that Raquel points out that it goes against, is a blatant or a flagrant violation of what Roddenberry would have wanted does taint it for me personally a bit as well. I'll let her answer for her.
Well, I'm a nerd and I'm a professional writer. So for me, I believe in the transaction betwixt the author and the reader, or the author and the viewer. And so I think that it's very important to maintain the pretend world. The pretend world takes a lot of time to develop. It doesn't exist. It only exists on the mind's eye. So when it comes to film, we make up the universe beyond the lens. And in a book, we make up the universe entirely with the writer writing on the mind's eye. And so for me, I'm judging this episode because it's not Star Trek. I recognize it as more of this spy stuff, and that's done because it's very popular with people. Normies love spy stuff. It appeals to the general public, and Star Trek should be science fiction. I also don't like the way that the characters are betrayed here. The Decker unit is described in Gene's Bible as someone who really loves the ladies. He gets around. But the most important thing to him is behaving as an honorable person in charge. He looks up to Jean-Luc Picard, in Jean's own words, as an elder brother, somebody who he would like to shape his career around. And his career means everything to him. And he's honest and forthright and does the right thing. And so here we have this destruction of Riker and a case that's been open for criminal activity, and he's not charged. And then again, at the end of the episode, once again, we have this idea of whether or not he's going to be charged, and he gets let off. And so I expect my Star Trek to be intelligent. I expect my Star Trek to obey the Star Trek I've come to know and love, which is TOS, which is Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, and I don't expect it to be spy. So it can't be spy. It has to be sci-fi. It has to obey Gene's writing style. Otherwise, I feel disconnected from the content. So that's my answer. It is writing for people means creating a pretend world that doesn't exist without these unspoken agreements, these tacit assumptions that happen in world building. Once you tear that world apart, you lose me. I'm not watching anymore. I'm not reading anymore. This world doesn't make sense anymore. It's not obeying the pretend world rules as previously set out. So I hope that answers your question.
There you go. And I will refer you to the Great Enigmatic Drop Bear if you would do the honors on that one. I'll switch back over to watching the chat.
Okay. So I'm over on the Starred tab, and look at what I see here. I see the marvelous ED, Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He's got a 3-parter. He's given this sucker a D. He says, so let me get this straight. Picard chose Riker as first officer because he was insubordinate, but was going to sack him for being insubordinate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a little weird. By the way, Dave G, I appreciate the question. Thank you for that, by the way.
2 of 3. This episode was a cornucopia of some of ST's Star Trek's worst cliches. Picard dislikes kids. Starfleet admirals conceal conspiracies. Romulans are diabolical. Censors can be fooled, etc. And the last one. 3 of 3. I liked the Enterprise flying into the asteroid sequence, and it was fun to see the Enterprise cloak and decloak. These effects, though, were never going to be sufficient to redeem the story. Yeah, exactly. Not a good story. So thank you, Edie. Excellent review. And thank you for taking the time to everyone. I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to write these marvelous reviews to help create this wonderful conversation and keep this conversation going. I just love all of it. It doesn't matter whether you agree with me or not.
Yeah, we really appreciate like Dave G putting the question, and we like that stuff. So all opinions are welcome here. So thank you so much. Mega Cropper said the C+. And JD Lewis said, like you said earlier, sick as a dog. Okay, well, dude, he says PSF for the Pegasus. He did not like that one. No. So thank you so much, my friend. Hang on a second.
Yeah, BC season 7 is not a strong one.
Mark D with a CR, Chief Engineer's here. All right, dude. Yay. He said, going on my rusty memory, since I didn't get, he gives it a C, by the way. So didn't get a chance to rewatch this week. Who could forget the horror of Captain Picard Day? I thought that scene was kind of funny for some reason.
There's going to be a Riker Day.
Yes, there is. I thought this could be taken as a commentary on the Cold War and Reagan's Star Wars defense.
Yes.
It could have been at the time, yeah. Why was Riker emulating Wesley in his action in the first duty with that cover up? Well, because that's the way it was written. I don't know.
And that's where your mind automatically goes, isn't it, Mark? That's what you're thinking to yourself. There's no way Picard will put up with lying and criminal activity. Oh, but yes, he does.
Is Vision upset that Starfleet stole his phasing tech? I'll have to ask him. I'll look into it. Yeah, they did steal it from the Vision for sure.
Great comment. Did we call out Tim's Talk?
Hey, no, I just saw him in there.
Tim's Talk is here.
Tim's Talk. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. I hope you were Doing well this night.
Yeah, thank you for dropping in, and thank you for
Absolutely.
being here.
Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Who's ready for our final episode of this evening?
I am.
All right, our final episode of the evening is Homeward.
Yeah, Homeward. This is also known as, of course, this is just my title, folks. Naren Shankar writes his objection to the entire idea of the Prime Directive. So now you probably are sitting at home saying, wow, it's different. It sure is different evaluating Star Trek from a professional writing or a writing teacher's point of view. And yeah. It is bizarre, isn't it, to learn all of this behind the scenes stuff. But basically what we're seeing is people like Naren Shankar and people like Ronald D. Moore admitting that they're trying to unwrite Star Trek. And you're going to see that in this episode, the unwriting of Star Trek. And yeah, it's annoying. It really bothers me. I don't like it. Just go write your own thing. Anyway, so last episode, we had Ronald D. Moore admitting that he didn't like the fact that Riker was a good guy. He wanted to make him dark. He didn't like the fact that they didn't have cloaking technology. He wanted to take Gene to task for that in public. And now we all have Naren Shankar showing us why the Prime Directive is stupid. This is Season 7, Episode 13, first airing on January 17th, 1994. I'm going to be reading from the block text. This is Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by, like I said, Paula M. Block. Please turn your hymnal, that's your page, 335. I will read from this text extemporaneously. Let's do it! Worf is dismayed to learn that his adoptive brother, Nikolai Roshenko, has violated the Prime Directive while stationed as a cultural observer on Baral 2. Although the planet is doomed, Roshenko has fallen in love with the inhabitants of a small village, including a local woman who's carrying his child. He has kept them alive long enough to summon the Enterprise to Baral, and now he wants Picard to relocate the villagers to a different world. The Prime Directive forbids such intervention with a pre-warp society, but Nikolai won't take no for an answer. The original series violated the Prime Directive all the time, writes Naren Shankar. And the Next Generation hid behind the Prime Directive all the time. Hid behind. Listen to this. Things that Kirk wouldn't even blink of doing, Picard would agonize about and then do nothing. It was just a function of the eras in which the shows were created, Shankar points out. Each story reflected where the United States was culturally at that particular time. Towards the end of TNG's run, we tried to push the boundaries. We felt there was a certain level of gutlessness and cruelty behind the Prime Directive that was unnecessary and sort of intolerable. Gutless and intolerable. Listen to this, folks. So we dramatically encapsulated that in terms of Worf and his adoptive human brother. Nikolai was somebody trying to straddle those things. That was the core of Homeward. And that is all the block text has to say about the giant pile of dog poo called Homeward.
Wow.
What did you think of the coverage, and what did you think of the episode, boss?
Well, you're gonna hate me on this one. I actually like the episode.
Okay.
I have no foreknowledge of what you just read, where Naren Shankar doesn't like the Prime Directive. So I don't know about that. I mean, until you told me. All I know is I don't have a problem with there being people in the Federation who don't like it or don't agree with it. No one ever would agree. I mean, does Gene mean for everybody to agree on everything in the 24th century? I mean, this was a guy who was established as a renegade type who never really got. I mean, look how they portrayed his character. It's not like he's actually big time Starfleet material. Who's just like the guy. He's a wreck. He's a smart guy, but he's kind of unconventional. He's not Starfleet material. He tried to be in Starfleet. He was out. I really love Paul Sorvino. I think he's a great actor, and he does not agree with the Prime Directive, but Picard does, and he just was able to trick it. He was able to use subterfuge to force the Enterprise into a situation. So I don't have a problem with that story. I mean, whether Shankar likes it or not, I think I do agree with Gene about the Prime Directive in a lot of ways. We did see Kirk, get accused of many times flouting it a little bit, not like this guy's saying, but it happened. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't know about that. So I found it to be a very, I loved all of the ideas of it. I loved the plot of them having once he put them in that situation, them having to find a clever way of, relocating that people without interfering with at least the few who are left from that culture. And I thought I liked the dynamic between, I just thought it was terrific. Paul Sorvino and Michael Dorn, they're brothers. If you got to create a brother for Worf, I don't know. I like the actor Paul Sorvino. I thought the ideas they dealt with in the episode were compelling. The fact that one of these people, these kids, the young guy finds out that he's on a spaceship and the way that's dealt with. I don't know. All that stuff was pure Star Trek to me. I don't know. I guess I don't mind it. I mean, we're not on the same page on this one.
This is crazy because you and I rarely disagree, but this is the nature of our show. We do things organically. Yeah. We don't make sure that we come up side by each, as the old saying goes. For me, this is a colossal failure. And as a social scientist, I find the whole idea of it appalling. You look at anthropology, you look at a culture, you look at Aboriginal peoples. I just think that this is appalling. The Prime Directive is a fabulous idea, and it definitely makes sure that we don't look like we're complete morons who don't understand anthropology, who don't understand sociology, who we would have no respect for other people who were different from us, and we would just run roughshod over that.
This is a character that, I mean, like I said, it doesn't mean that the show disagrees with the Prime Directive. It's a character that does for a story.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of a screw up of a kind of guy, as Worf kind of explains him.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know that Naren Shankar did not like the idea of the Prime Directive. I hear you. And he wanted that sort of written out of Star Trek. He was showing I had heard that previously from fairly reliable sources. So I guess I'm coming at it from a different angle, because this was supposed to make people sit at home and go, yeah, the Prime Directive's stupid. And as a social scientist, I in my notes, I discuss why I take exception with it.
Well, it's not like Picard agreed with him, though. I mean, Picard did,
but I think it's weird that Naren Shankar wanted to do this episode.
Oh, he's a dumbass, yeah.
And there are some things that observers of other cultures would not do that is done here, and it's quite appalling. But I'll get to that in my notes.
Okay, go for your notes. Go for it.
Okay, here are my notes, folks. I object to a writer writing to dismantle canon, to injure a story the writer was hired to help with. The Prime Directive is about preserving Aboriginal peoples, Indigenous peoples. Today in our world, there are clusters of pre-civilization peoples. They don't need or want our civilization to assimilate them. We should have done a Who Watches the Watchers here. If pressed into this, why wouldn't they gas the Barallans and fix the holodeck?
I was wondering, yes.
This is to engage in this idea Naren Shankar has about making fans think the Prime Directive is stupid. This episode is upsetting. Moving people like rabbits to Australia is wrong. At one point, they even describe it. They sort of describe it as how they're going to be getting along on a new planet that they didn't evolve from. So it's like, rabbits are not indigenous to Australia, and yet they were taken there. And so that comparison I find ridiculous and incredibly insulting. It's horrible. And Vorin is portrayed as a Luddite. And when in fact, he is a deeply convicted person who obviously has this religion or quasi-religion. And as you all know, Gene Roddenberry took issue with this, and even said in a 1991 interview before he died that he fought with Michael Piller about making fun of people who believe in God and making fun of religion. Gene Roddenberry did not want that kind of stuff happening. And so Voron being overwhelmed by this reality should have been handled like Who Watches the Watchers. Instead, he's just sort of this Luddite who winds up killing himself.
Yeah.
And then I have written in yelling all caps, one pleasant note, Cassidy Yates.
Yeah, Penny
and then I
Johnson.
wrote, the prime directive is educated. It is a respect for others. It is a respect for Aboriginal peoples, for Indigenous peoples. It is a respect for sociology and anthropology and research. Nikolai's child is going to be born human. He has lied to this woman, and now she's going to have a human child. Altering their evolution without their knowledge is wrong. So if we are going to be anthropologists, if we're going to go out in the field and we're going to look at these pre-war civilizations, we're going to look at these pre-civilized people, and they exist today. There are people who are in the Amazon rainforest who, and I think some people in Papua New Guinea as well.
Right.
And they are pre-civilized people. It's not up to us to send in an anthropologist to impregnate them and sort of say, look, like, you're in danger. They're going to burn down the rainforest so that they can grow soy crops. We're going to relocate you. And this whole idea of this is so fundamentally wrong. And it's morally bankrupt. I find it absolutely reprehensible.
Wow.
I completely support pre-civilized peoples. I completely support proper procedure in anthropological research, and I support Aboriginal people and Indigenous peoples. And I don't support lying to a woman and you're an alien species and you impregnate her and she's going to have this child that is going to have a completely different physiology from her, is going to look completely different from her, and you've moved her to a planet all because that's what you wanted. I think that this is disgusting. It's a false dichotomy that these people had to die. What we should have done here is a Who Watches the Watchers moment. We should have found out that Nikolai impregnated her. We should have admitted that we were observing them, that this is anthropological research, that they're endangered, that they're going to be moved to another world, and have the Who Watches the Watchers moment. But the fact that we are upholding lies, we are transplanting these people, and we have no respect for their indigenousness, their Aboriginal status, is mind-blowingly bad to me. And I cannot believe anyone would write this and think it is okay. It's not okay. No, this is a no for me.
I hear you, but look, I mean, I don't know. I think any idea can be argued with, and that could be, and you could have a character that goes against the grain of something. Nikolai did that. I didn't say Nikolai was right. He was wrong in what he did.
Yes.
But what were they going to do? Put in that situation? And I just thought it was, I don't know.
I understand, but I just
Nikolai. I like the actor, by the way. I love Paul Sorvino.
Yes, I think that he's wonderful, and he was great in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think that he's absolutely wonderful, but I think that it's very important for these writers, when they're writing these stories, to understand that there are practices in anthropology, there are practices even in archaeology, there are practices in sociology and psychiatry and psychology, and we have to make sure that we preserve truth, and that we deal with Indigenous peoples in a fair way. And I think that this is bizarro world. And hey, Larry's here.
What's up, dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So what is your rating of, I already know what it is now, but what is your rating of
So
Homeward?
For me, this is an F. And if you are an anthropologist who is studying people in Papua New Guinea or studying people in the Amazonian rainforest, and you decide that you want to go over and impregnate one of them, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay. Wow. Man, I'm glad we don't discuss these ahead of time because I would have probably given it a D just on that. But I'm giving it. I got to be true to what I thought. I always thought the episode was pretty good. I thought the idea of this crazy lunatic brother of Worf. I mean, and if you're going to give Worf a brother, it was such a weird thing to give him a brother like that. But I think Paul Sorvino was terrific. I like all the stuff between Worf and his brother. I like the way that when he put them in that situation, which was his fault. I mean, he did it. I mean, then they had no other choice but to find again. I did always wonder why they didn't gas the people and then fix the holodeck and then but what else are you going to do but relocate them? You're not going to go beam them down there to die either. So
well, yeah, that's exactly it. But like I said, the Naren Shankar is such a poor a marksman that he thinks that the viewer will buy into the false dichotomy of either Nikolai gets to impregnate the lady and the lady gets to have the mysterious alien baby with them and they move them to the planet that otherwise they just have to die. They all have to die. No, that's a false dichotomy. Intelligent people aren't going to buy into that. We could have had a Who Watches the Watchers moment here, and that would have been great. And then we could have really massaged the idea of the Prime Directive and really decided whether or not we believe in it. But just to run roughshod over someone's culture and falsely impregnate an Aboriginal person.
Well, yeah, he screwed up.
Imagine how that lady would feel in real life when the baby comes out and it has a completely different physiology from her, anatomy from her. Then it's almost as if there's a grape situation going on here.
Wow.
When somebody has intercourse with you, they have to honestly tell you who they are.
I never claimed to be intelligent, just a fan of Star Trek, and I thought it was a good story and a good drama, and I thought he was totally in the wrong. Everything he did, he was wrong.
Yes.
But I don't mind there being a character in something disputing if you don't have any kind of conflict at all. I mean, this is a guy who, it was depicted in the story, in the script of the episode, that he was a kind of, not so much a screw up, he was smart, but he never finished anything. He was kind of a ne'er-do-well type of a guy who lets his emotions run away with him, who never really finished anything. Worf, the absolute opposite of Worf, which is kind of funny that was his brother. I thought that was interesting. And the fact that he went off and ran off and did something crazy like this, he was in the wrong, and he was disputing something, the Prime Directive, which, I think it's plausible that people, even in the 21st century, there may be some citizens that don't like it. I mean, Beverly didn't seem too thrilled with it. And, just because she's such a bleeding heart, how she is, right?
But why wouldn't Picard say something about the pregnancy? Why wouldn't Picard make Nikolai come clean? I honestly
think they forgot, or did he know about the pregnancy until later? I don't know. Remember, it wasn't mentioned till later in the episode. Now, then that's the fault of the writing. I got to be honest with you. You started talking about the pregnancy, and you're absolutely right what you said about it, the ethics of it. Never even occurred to me. But again, I'm not that observant. I just thought it was an okay one. I like the ideas it examined. I even don't mind what Varen did him killing himself was a shock, but he didn't understand what was happening. Whereas opposed to in Who Watched the Watchers, you had a clear example of a lot of people, given Picard going on there and explaining things. I think there are differences between those episodes. The things Shankar said behind the scenes, I'm not going to defend him one way or the other. I don't like him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked him. So, but again, we're I don't know. There we go. But now I'm going to give the word, since people are already putting reviews in.
They are. I want to thank everyone who is engaging in conversation about these faults in the episode, particularly Toxic Man Flu. Yes, if Naren Shankar was going to engage in this, I love your comments. Yes, a species on another planet 1 billion light years away would have an entirely different DNA. Heck, they might not even have the same parts. Yes. and Comic Relief Crusaders chiming in with that. And yes, there was a way that we could dig in and pick on the Prime Directive to make sure we were in the right there. But Naren Shankar's attempt here, it just doesn't make the mark in my estimation. So thank you for your wonderful conversations, and please continue the conversation.
I promise to fire myself. Next week we'll have a new host. I promise.
No, I love
right, we
you
have
just the way you are.
we have no. Look, I got it all wrong. I can't help it.
No,
Here
you
we
don't
go.
have it wrong. No one has it right or wrong.
We have a Max Redstone Entertainment. Who's ready? You star, and I will. Ready? Are we ready? Okay.
Ready.
Homeward.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, for Worf's brother to survive, the Prime Directive must take a dive. A good fella sticks out his neck, commandeering a holodeck to make sure that a group of villagers survive. And Max said he sent me something else. Hang on a second.
Oh, Chris Persia is leaving. He has
Oh,
to leave.
Chris, take it easy, buddy.
Good night, honey. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Sending millions of kisses for your face. Good night, Chris.
I'll try to get those pics in a second. I don't really have time to download them now, but I appreciate them though. Max, thank you so much. All right, let's see here. So while you're still doing that, I will start with our reviews. Sandra says, D, anyone trusted enough to observe a society would commit to the Prime Directive. Would they? I don't know. ST always took great pains to preserve indigenous cultures. It's wrong to alter species without their permission. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he was wrong. A character did something wrong in an episode. I mean, even in Trek, you got to have a character do something wrong sometimes. Toxic Man Flu says,
True.
$5 for the super chat. You're too kind, Toxic. He says, technically, the genetic difference would have horrible ramifications for the information of the embryo, for the formation of the embryo. Sorry.
Yeah.
And the pregnancy would not have lasted long. Well, again, it was kind of like they threw it in there like a last second thing, and I was like,
Yeah, like what's going on
toward the
there?
end, and that was a little weird.
Wendy Webb has to leave, boss man. She says,
night,
good night,
Wendy.
everyone.
Thank you
Take
so
care
much.
and stay safe. And guess who just walked through the door? McEnany
Who?
Draws is here.
McEnany Draws. Hey, welcome. We'll write that down. Okay. So we have, let's see here. Good to see you, McEnany, by the way. An excellent artist, so everyone, and has a very cool channel.
Mhm.
Scotty R37 says B-. Mega Cropper says C+. Larry says as a super sticker for 199. Thank you, Larry. It's good to see you, Larry.
Larry.
Appreciate you being here. Chris Punisher says D-. The idea of Worf's brother wanting to save and relocate the remnants of a species is understandable. However, as a Starfleet observer, how is having intimate relations acceptable? He's not a Starfleet. He is not with Starfleet. Remember, he didn't stay in Starfleet, but yeah.
How did he get permission to go to this planet to observe these people?
Don't know. They don't tell you half the crap in any Trek episode when there's the Next Generation.
Naren Shankar.
What about the sociological ramifications of introducing a hybrid offspring to a primitive species?
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a good idea.
Chris Persia, you're a smarty pants, and I love you.
Dave G. Sound says, I'm sorry, beyond implications noted, this was filler Trek. Let's see here. Pleasant Valley Picker says, gosh, another bad season 7 ep. Once again, I do not remember it. But it's a review anyway. He wants to review things he didn't even remember. That's kind of, I like that about Pleasant. It's weird. I'll give it a C to be balanced. I give it an F. The Prime Directive has a great idea. I agree with, but handcuffs stories so is problematic. Okay.
That's a very interesting thing to say. Yeah, that's why Naren Shankar wanted rid of it, is because it's difficult to write in this universe.
Well, I mean, look, it's not completely untrue when people say Kirk flouted it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't seem to give a crap about it, but he got away with it. So,
But
then again, people go too far with that and say he did it every week. But it happened.
And whenever he did it, we agreed with him. He wasn't doing the wrong thing. This time we have somebody doing the wrong thing.
The thing is, in this case, I know, but it's not I don't look. I'm not going to hate to defend Picard, but it wasn't his fault. I mean, other than him being his ship security being so crappy that Paul Sorvino could go on there and pull this stunt, but it wasn't like it wasn't like Picard sanctioned it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to defend Picard. That sucks. Michael Beacom says F. I was going to say D, but after hearing Shankar, it's an F. Well, yeah, but the episode's the episode. I don't know. I like that. He could be a total doucheweed, and I'm gonna if there's an episode, something good to say about an episode, I'm gonna in the
It's
story.
important to remember Michael
see on
has
the
the book,
screen.
boss man.
That's fine, but I don't, and I'm just saying, I don't read the book, and I just I haven't learned to read yet, folks. Obviously, Prime Directive is proven wisdom when technology disparate cultures have met on Earth.
Yes,
it's always gone.
Yes.
Where's his second? Hang on a second. Get to your second one, Michael. A bad for one or both cultures. We have no reason to believe it will be better elsewhere. Ask the Incas. I will give you their number. I'll ask them. Get them. I'll send them a link. The American Indians, the Australian Aboriginals. The treatment the treatment here was shameful.
Mm-hmm. How about the Irish? How about Jewish people? It's everywhere. Yeah, I love these comments, Michael Beacom. This is beautiful.
Gene said, at least we finally found the wisdom not to interfere. Like Critical Drinker, this episode said, nah, I can't do it. It'll be fine. Shankar should have been bodily ejected from the Paramount lot. Then he would have made The Expanse for all you people that love that show.
Michael Beacom, I love you. What a great review.
Wow. Worf gets humiliated yet again. C from Eric Carroll. Did he get humiliated? I don't know. His brother embarrassed him, but yeah. C from Wolfie. Paulie from Goodfellas impregnates Cisco's girlfriend. Mr. Wolf does not want to wear full makeup for an episode because he is lazy and
This is great.
They recycled this episode from Who Watches the Watchers Shower? Who Watches the Watchers Shower? To go full moron and make it a film in a few years later in Star Trek 9 Hysterection. I always called it Inerection, but that's just me. Comic Relief Crusader reviews. I hate this app. That's not a review. What'd you put that up there for? I know you hate it, but it's not a review.
Yeah.
Oh man. What if he put, I love this app. Would you put that up there? No, you wouldn't. There you go. Let's be honest, you wouldn't. Wendy Webb, Trauma Warrior says, C, I'm neutral in this episode. Not memorable, but also not hated. Sorry, I don't have anything witty to say about this episode. Hey, no, we'd just love to have you here, Wendy. Don't worry about that. Not much can be said. Eric K says, C for Catwoman. So many problems with this Prime Directive, with the Prime Directive, good in concept, but bad how it works. Subjective about who they save and when. Cosmic strings, suns about to explode, comments, or other calamities they save. Right. Well, this was a rogue actor. He just was a jerk off, I guess, being Paulie. Different Paulie. C for calzone. Now I want a calzone. What's wrong with you? Big Paulie from the Godfather Part 2 on Star Trek. I thought it was Goodfellas. You guys, was he in both of those? I know he was in both movies, but I mean, was he Paulie in both of them? Anyway, on Star Trek, and he was also in The Rocketeer and a lot of other cool stuff. Paul Sorvino was a really good actor. What could go wrong? I agree with Raquel. This could have been done much better. Yeah. Also, Wesley sucks interdimensionally. I'm not speaking for her, but I don't think she could have been done. She thinks this could have been done well at all. So anyway.
I actually do think that this episode could have been done well, and it has been done really, really well. Who Watches the Watchers?
But that wasn't really that much like this one, though. I don't know. I mean, that was an accident. This guy did this on purpose, and the planet was about to be destroyed. I mean,
you mean she got pregnant on purpose? It wasn't an accident. He just didn't fall on her.
I'm not. The pregnancy is that. Look, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm talking about the story. He did this, and the planet was about to be destroyed. The similarity between this and Who Watches the Watchers is very thin. Just saying. However, Max Redstone says D-. This is Gorn Duty, absolutely Gorn Duty. Have you been watching Strange New Worms? Crap. We'll make sure I get the right amount of craps here. Crap. It's Star Trek. Everyone has relatives. This is crap. Just crap. I can never. Oh, that will never. I mean, never get old. Phantom Outsider says C. But here's the thing. Apparently, this episode was written by Worf's brother, because it's ham-handed, short shrift, and doesn't see the future implications. Also, how do we know there isn't some dangerous? Hang on. I gotta get to your next one. Life form on the new planet SETI worms. Anyone? Yes, I'll take a few. Oh, I thought you were offering one. Hang on. My mouse is doing crap. What's the blood type of these aliens? Does Starfleet Medical cover these special?
I think he means species.
I know he does. Pairing, yes. Pairings does it? No, it doesn't. I don't think it's covered by the insurance.
Did you read Eric Kay's yet?
I did, yeah. Why?
Okay, good. No, it's just because the chat is like jumping around, and I just want to make sure I'm getting everyone's.
How did I miss the ones at the top? Wait a minute.
I don't know. They're it's jumping around in chunks tonight,
I don't know how
like
that one
huge
got
ones.
to the top. That's weird. Wagner says, who decided this story was so good that they needed to use it again for Star Trek in Erection? I don't know.
It's true.
Rick Berman, I would say Pee Wee Berman did. Butterman calls Rick Berman Pee Wee Berman. Comic Relief Crusade, I thought I already read his. He says F. Well, there goes the entire genetics of a species of people for all time with alien DNA and future offspring. Oh, well, break out the clawbone. It's already been there. Spock's discount brother all over again. Selfish.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right, let's see. Kal-El says D. Once again, hang on. Once again, we have an episode that questions the validity of one of the fundamental principles of and highest law of Starfleet. I don't get that the episode. I mean, I got what Shankar said, but it was one. Look, he's in the wrong. Nobody agrees with him but him. He did. It was a rogue actor. So was the episode saying that the prime director is bad? It was just showing one guy being a jerk off. I don't know, but anyway. I know what Shankar said.
Mr. Grant Gregory just walks through the door.
Hey, Mr. Grant Gregory. What's up, dude? Always an honor to have you pop in and stop by. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. Even though the Enterprise was forced into the scenario, they found themselves in. There were a number of better ways that the situation could have been handled. I think they probably should have just knocked out the people and then brought them to the planet instead of used the holodeck thing. Did they have an excuse? And again, one bit of writing that I thought was dumb was how it's you either can wipe people's memories or you can't. Why this is just so happen to be one species that you can't, but all these other ones you can. Yeah. With it, Voren's reaction to finding out the truth about a situation and his.
Voren's situation should have been handled exactly like Who Watches the Watchers, exactly the same way. It should have been handled exactly the same way.
They did explain it to him, and then he handled it different by killing himself. I wouldn't have done that, but they did try to explain what was going on to him, like they did with Who Watches the Watchers. He wasn't from as advanced a people as those people were.
No, that's true.
Inability to assimilate into Federation society was well handled, though, which is the only reason why this episode didn't get a lower rating. Oh, what did he say? He said Voren's, yeah.
And maybe Counselor Cameltoe could have been there, and Beverly could have given the gentleman a sedative, and they could have counseled him, like just to help him get over the initial shock. But to have him clutching basically like the entire chronicle of his people, and it's sort of seeming like a religious event or whatever, just another level of disrespect. Annoying.
He said, yeah, but he was thinking now that he knows, he was agreeing that he can never say anything about what he knows because he thinks it was like a prime directive. It was actually Varin was agreeing with the prime directive that it would mess up, even though they've been relocated to another planet. He could never tell anyone, and he felt it was such weakness of character, I guess, whatever it was, that he couldn't survive in either world. Which I don't agree with, but
that's right. I think he should have been given blow dart level meds until until they could work it all out. But all should have been revealed to everyone, especially to Preggers, McGee.
They use that as a crutch to have phony drama to be able to have him kill himself because he was in such a bad position.
Yeah.
And that's, whereas, but again, he's from a different level of civilization than the people who watch the Watchers, it seemed. Mm-hmm. Because they believe some pretty crazy. I mean, they would believe more. They were believing in they believed them, for example, when they said Worf was going to be able to stop the storms and all that crap and the omens and all that stuff. Those people who watched the Watchers were far more advanced and easy to deal with. They had some superstitions, but not quite as bad. Mm-hmm. There were a number of, found themselves in, there were a number of better ways that the situation could have been handled. The way that Voron's reaction to finding out the truth about his situation and his
there was a bit of a mix-up with Kal-El, so I just sent it to the starred tab so that you can
removed the second part of my review and reposted it since I made a minor error the first time around. Please use the second part to my review as so if at all possible. So is there another one somewhere?
Everything that he put is starred. It's in the starred tab.
All right.
Oh, and Scotty has to go. He says, "Thank you, everyone. I got a jet. Good night, Scotty."
All right, Scotty. Have a good one, sir. Appreciate it.
And Larry says, "Who says they procreate like humans?" Well, have a baby in your knee.
D says, Raymond Feliciano, I agree with the Prime Directive. However, I do have issues with it to be discussed at another time. Having been said, his actions were reprehensible as he altered the society. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think anyone was happy with him, were they? So let's see here. Mr. Grant Gregory says, question for the Clubberin Times. If you were given $50 to get comics for someone who hasn't read comics, what would you get? I'd have to talk to that person a little bit and get qualifiers of the kind of things they're interested in. But off the top of my head, I would probably, man, that's such a tough question. So many. I would probably get them a copy of the Real Watchmen trade paperback, the original, of course. I'd get them Daredevil Born Again. I would get them, let's see, because again, it's tough to tell what anyone's going to like these days. I'll probably get them Kingdom Come. I would probably get, again, that's just off the top of my head. That's a few things. There are so many other ones. $50 you could, I don't know if you have to get cheap prices on trades of those. So with 50, somewhere up in there ballpark. I'll work on a better answer though. I appreciate that.
Oh, I was just thinking, Larry has me thinking about Kes having the baby out her back.
Whoa, wow, I'd forgotten that. Eric Carroll says this episode should have never been written. Well, we will have to consult parallels for that so we can go back in time. And now, number one, if you will take care of our wonderful friend, Enigmatic Drop Bear. And
I will go over to the start tab. Did you find that other one by Kal-El? Oh, it's not in here. I'll go see if I can. Or maybe I'll get him to repost it. Okay. Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He has a two-parter here, and he's giving this episode an F. He says, first contact. Who watches the Watchers? Half a life. These are some of TNG's best stories, and they are quintessentially built on the Prime Directive concept. I love you, ED. I love you. 2 of 2. This story is intellectually offensive and an abomination. I love you.
This big D.
The perfunctory way it deals with important anthropological concepts is repugnant. Oh my God, you just won the internet. Drop the mic. The crowd goes wild. This is mwah, 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 bellissimo.
Wow.
Bravo. It's beautiful. This story is intellectually offensive and an abomination. The perfunctory way it deals with important anthropological concepts is repugnant.
I feel
Take
like
that, Naren Shankar.
I
love you, Edie.
I feel like I owe ED an apology now. Wow. Good Lord.
That was such a
I don't know. You can, if you want to put it back up there, Kal-El, you can, brother. I mean, it's cool. All right, let's see. Well, Mark, our chief engineer, I guess this is the last one here. Our great chief engineer has, here we go. B, Nikolai raises interesting questions about the Prime Directive. We may not agree with his decision, but it opens up the discussion on the rule. That's what I thought. Trek works best when it makes the viewer think and ask questions. Picard and crew made due by minimizing the damage done to this civilization. I also agree with that. Who wouldn't feel regret at letting an entire culture be wiped out to preserve the Prime Directive? Yes, I agree with that as well. I don't think I think it's a good question. Decker unit is losing his game and not getting it on with the alien. This episode was, he was barely in it. Was he barely in it? Thankfully, they moved them to Vaca 6 and not SETI Alpha 6. I thought that was a smart move.
This is SETI Alpha 5.
It already exploded, so it would have been kind of tough to move it there. Yeah. So, well, do we have any more? Any more?
That is it, boss.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kel. What do you mean it would happen again, dude? Nothing happened.
Absolutely nothing happened.
Except my bad review of the episode.
You are a glorious human being, Kal-El.
What are you calling human? Sorry.
And I think there were 38 entries for this particular episode, and you always handle yourself with decorum and grace, and I love your comments, and you're fabulous, so don't even. And Pleasant Valley Picker, we did not miss you. However, you were in the kitchen. What were you making? I hope a sandwich.
A sandwich? What kind?
What kind of sandwich?
I could use a sandwich. Well, we got through fast too. Looks like, well, yeah. I don't know if you are of a mindset for it, Mr. Mark D, but you are having a link at your discretion, of course. As soon as I can find you.
Gwagnar, all these episodes tonight were either bad rehashes of earlier Trek or badly rehashed by future Trek. Gwagnar.
One thing sitting through garbage like strangled nude worms will do. It'll make you watch anything, and I'm not just Trek. Anything and make you more in a nicer mood. Put it to you like that. Even not so much Obi-Wan, but no, anyway, yeah. So anyway,
I have almost 178 pages of notes in front of me. I have them clipped.
Of what?
Just my notes on the on TNG.
What do you mean, like did you already made? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like upcoming.
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. What's up?
Hey everyone, thanks for having me on. Yep,
Hey, Mark, able to see here, folks.
Earlier at Billy Joel tonight, who's he's amazing for age 73. I can't believe.
Is he really?
Voice
wow,
is still great. Yeah, can't believe
Only
he's that old.
Good, and young.
Yeah, that was a great. Yeah, he sang that. That was awesome.
I like
and he announced the trombone player was out because of the vid. And I said, thankfully, the Decker unit did not show up to play the trombone tonight. Oh, thank God! I was getting nervous there for a second that he would show up.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Pleasant Valley says, can I say that tonight's episode? No, you cannot say it. We don't allow any other opinions here but mine. So no, you can't. You have to behave. Yeah, you cannot have opinions around here. Of course you can.
I love
Pleasant.
this. At no point in this rambling incoherence were we even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having reviewed to it.
As good as that quote is, it's from a movie with Adam Sandler, so I hate him. Is it
Oh, well,
not?
you're
It
right
is.
though. It's all relative though, because we didn't.
We have bad
did enjoy
people.
watching something
Get the
together.
bad people.
Oh yeah,
What happened?
we got
Oh,
mods here.
shit.
Yeah,
I'm getting
but
that
that's
picture.
the only way that we can survive watching that stuff. But we commiserated together. But I don't know if you saw the clip, but I got to clip that one scene where the person
I
on the bridge.
didn't get a chance to see the one you just
Oh, it's
made.
just so
I'll watch it.
hysterical. It's so sad.
You should make Raquel watch it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we won't do that. But
Was it
yeah,
Phil?
so it's a
Yeah,
so
see,
it's all
you
relative.
clipped some stuff from it.
I clipped it
Not
to make it
the whole
funny.
Why are
episode.
you
Yeah.
clipping the filth? You're helping.
I don't know. I was
make it
wondering about myself.
spread.
Well, no, it's private. No, it's private. It was just
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
I didn't
'Cause was
post it on the
gonna say,
interwebs.
don't wipe poop on people. It's not
No,
nice to wipe poop on people, Mark D with the C.
Oh, yeah, he didn't put it out. He didn't put it out. In
No,
his
I didn't
video.
put it. It was just in the private chat. Yeah, but I clipped it just so. But I put a warning on it too. It's a warning label. But
What was the warning? Crap, crap, crap.
crap. Yeah, watch at your own risk. But it's true. It's relative when you when you watch some of this stuff as much as we the flaws with the episodes, but it's still night and day different than the other stuff, which we won't mention. But yeah, so. But thankfully, we have the Clawboni to take care of the bad stuff and wipe it away.
Wait, we
Thanks,
have the what
hungry
now?
boy.
The Clawboni.
Crap, 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 crap. Hey, do you have that video I made where I blew up Wesley? Can we blow up Wesley?
You always
Forgot
have that
this
on
this
call,
is a
right?
Wesley night, isn't it? I forgot we did have Wesley, didn't we?
We did. Can we blow him
Yeah.
up, please?
I think it could be arranged. Hang on a second here. Who wants to
Does
blow
that-
up Wesley? Nobody in
does
the
that
crowd
cost
will
extra?
let him. Yeah.
Never gets old.
Yes. Also, from the great Max Redstone, everyone. What in the hell,
Got the
boy?
Picard.
Thank you, Kal-El. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen M.
What do you say?
Oh, nothing. He's
Yes.
just taking care of business for me.
Oh, no. Okay, good. There you go. That's from, of course, the great Max Redstone. Is this?
Good one, yeah.
There you go.
Goodfellas, didn't that have Ray Liotta in it? The poor
It
fellow
did,
who
the
just
poor-
passed?
Yeah. I just
Yes,
passed
rest
away.
his
Yeah.
soul. Poor old Raylan. Good night, Raymond, by the way. Thank you, buddy.
Raymond's
And,
leaving?
and Sandra.
Good
I think
night,
he said
Raymond.
so.
Good night, Felicianos.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure that you a sub to King Dolphin TV.
Or she'll do the dolphin voice again. I mean,
Sorry.
no, that's okay. Trying to give him extra incentive.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
no,
won't do
love
it anymore.
No, you have to do it now because everyone expects it.
I'm a
Yeah.
role model.
Poor old, press F for respect. That makes sense, actually. I see what you did there, Max. Yeah. F for Ray Good. Yeah. That's the only word in that movie, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 F's on it. Raquel, have you ever had 2 F's on a night? And Star
What
Trek
kind
reviews?
of question are you asking me right now?
Review
God.
F's.
Reviews
F,
of
every-
Oh
Oh,
my
no,
goodness.
no. I've never had 2 F's in a night doing
Are
reviews.
you sure? You've never had, you hadn't had many F's.
Because
I
alternative
haven't
factor
either.
was an F, right?
I don't know, was it?
I
Probably.
think Raquel gave a. Can you remember your F's? Your graded F's? Yeah. was it alternative
she had
factor?
to, because she has them written down probably, but
Yeah, I do.
would
I
imagine.
have them all. I
she has them all recorded, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
them
One
all
day you have
on-
to compile them.
I have them on in a pile.
Maybe when we do our,
You can put them in that spreadsheet I was
finale.
doing. Yeah.
maybe when we do our finale, we can tally up how many F's were in TNG.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Good
that
homework
right now.
assignment.
Right
don't
now,
you
no.
Talk
We can make-
amongst
We
yourselves.
can keep it as a
Teacher,
surprise for the
amongst
in her
finale.
book.
I think you should keep it as a surprise for the finale, but that's okay. How many more episodes we got anyway? Let me see. I'm gonna check here, everyone, how many more of the season we have left. Just a second. Where are you? There you go. So episode guide.
Oh, we got Sub Rosa coming up.
All right. Yeah. Yes, sir. The greatest episode of them all. Okay.
Lower Drex.
Lower Drex. I kind of like that one.
I know I'm joking, but that's a good one. Yeah.
No, I don't like Lower Drex, but I like Lower Decks.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, okay, so let me see what we got left. We got, oh boy, next week we got Sub Rosa, everybody. Yeehaw. Sub Rosa, Lower Decks, Thine Own Self, and Masks are the next ones, next 4. And after that, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4. So we got about 4 weeks. Let me count that. Let me count it up again. Hang on, everybody. Man, let's see. We got
so 1, 2,
3, 4. Wait,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Math is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you do all good things in a finale for TNG,
we're just gonna do that by itself.
By itself, right? That would be the last one.
Right.
Yep.
That would both parts by itself, in our final big party.
And you could say goodbye to TNG too. Well, I guess then the movies.
So we know for a fact we have an A+ next week because we got Sub Rosa.
Yeah.
The
greatest episode
is 6, Mark, but I will not reveal which episodes those are. I will save that
for the finale.
Okay. But you said there were 6?
Mm-hmm. All together, including tonight.
There could have been there could have been
2 tonight.
2 tonight.
That's going to be a lot more than TNG had. I mean, the original series had.
I don't think TOS. I mean, just alternative factor, right?
I don't know. The children shall lead.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think I gave a D to and the children shall lead, but I did give an F to alternative factor. That is a head desk.
Mark of Gideon, Jesus Christ.
The Mark of Gideon, oh God.
I watched. Say what you want about Homeland. I watched Homeward or whatever. I watched Mark of Gideon, but since the original series, I can still watch them more than TNG. But
right, yeah.
Well, TOS is you're always going to watch it. Well, I can't say that for everyone. I'm always going to watch it. I'm going to watch it every single year for the rest of my life, and it will be time well spent.
I can watch Alternative Factor 50 times before I can watch the Strange New Filth. So
yes, exactly right. I would rather watch. Oh, TMF knows how I describe that beard and that mustache. Oh, so bad.
We need the Weird Al Yankovic song. I'd rather, when he describes everything, like I'd rather take a bath in razor blades than spend another moment.
I'd rather
what's the name of that song?
Dive into a swimming pool filled with double-edged razor blades and spend one more minute with you. It's called One More Minute.
Yeah, that's a great song. Oh God, that's awesome.
Well, the worst part of it was because I'd rather clean all the bathrooms in Grand Central Station with my tongue.
And I've been to the Grand Central's bathrooms. Oh man, they're better now, but in the 70s, ooh, that was a scary situation. Anytime they're scary, yeah.
I love this comment from Kel.
That is for sure.
The worst episodes of TOS are leagues better than anything the Filth has produced. Love you, Cal.
I'll even say that the worst episodes of TNG or Voyager are still better than that garbage, even though they could be bad on their own, but they're not. I'm sorry. They're just like normal bad. They're still not like, I mean, they're bad.
Well, the Lizard People episode's pretty bad in Voyager, but yeah.
It's bad. I'm saying bad is bad.
Yeah.
But there's a special kind of bad that cannot be touched.
Characterizations.
Sub Rosa is not as bad as STD or P Hard.
Yeah. Well, what kills me is the characterizations. That's what's most horrendous to me.
I can't wait for Sub Rosa. That's gonna be.
Rob Altus says Spock's brain is Shakespeare compared to Klutzman track.
Yes,
but my favorite, I think one of my favorite.
That's right.
Comments of the evening. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Poor James T. Skywalker is thinking ahead to the future. when we're gonna watch all of Voyager, he's like, "Wow, not easy."
Oh yeah, I know.
Stay with us.
I don't know, man. We might change our mind. I'm just kidding. We'll get Katie. That's the thing. I love you, Katie. If you're out there listening and lurking, I would. We don't want to be mean to Voyager, but we're going to have to be honest.
I do. I want to be mean.
I know, but you don't want to be mean to her. And being mean to Voyager is being mean to Katie. Let's be honest, but we still love her.
I would never be mean to Katie.
You're going to
But
be
I
doing
also
it.
don't care about Fifi's.
That's right. Well, that means you're going to be being mean to Katie. Let's just be honest.
I will not be mean to Katie. I love Katie Carr.
She is the biggest Voyager fan ever. I hope she's
I know.
so. Hey, you know, it's fine. I'm just saying.
She's a ballerina. She can send me shin kicks.
We'll let
Some of Voyager is good. Some of Voyager is good. There's good stuff in Voyager. And I would always joke about, when I got in trouble when the missus walked in the room and was like, "What are you watching? What's that girl wearing?" Like, those are her implants, her Borg implants. You get 7 of 9 is on the screen, with that's, that outfit. She's like, "What kind of crap are you watching? What's the show?" Like, it's Star Trek, honest. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot to clown the writers. What was that? I forgot to clown the writers on the stupid speed limit. 5 episodes. Oh yeah, the stupid ass warp speed bad episode. Ugh. If you swept up the clippings off of the editing room floor and just cut them together, it would be better than the filth. Anything's better than the filth. I mean, let's be honest. Look, JT5. Yeah, I mean, Jar Jar Drek. I'd rather watch Voyager any day. I mean, the Voyager. Like I forced myself a few years ago because when it first came on, I remember I watched the pilot, then I watched an episode or two and just didn't like it. And I thought there was this. I love the Jerry Goldsmith opening score. That music is great. I agree with you, Eric Carroll. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And then 2 years ago, after I went back and binged DS9, back a few years ago, like 2015, 16, whatever it was, and really got a new respect for it and really enjoyed it, loved it. And then I started going back and watching a lot more TNG and liking it better than I did when I first saw it. I finally said, all right, it's the 50th anniversary of Star Trek in 2016. I want to have watched, because I've watched Enterprise all the way through many times, just as I have TOS. And now I'd finally seen all of DS9. I'd seen TNG all the way through. So I decided I will watch all of Voyager. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure I sit through the whole thing. And it was a slog, I got to admit, sometimes. It was watchable sometimes. There's some good. I really like the Doctor.
Doctor's the best character. Holographic
Doctor.
What's the nature of your emergency?
Yeah, please take the nature of
the new Star Trek is horrible. Please help us.
Yeah. And I like the Barclay episodes. Those were fun. But yeah. Reg. Those are really good. But I can't say it's the thing I want to go back and rewatch all that much, to be honest with you. It's all right. But some people love it. I'm not a big Janeway guy. I got to admit, she's all right.
There's coffee in that nebula.
That was good. I just
that's a very good Janeway.
That was good. Yeah.
But you don't like my dolphin chitters.
I do like it.
It's just too realistic.
When you do that. I absolutely love it.
Hey, bad people!
Hey, I don't
know.
All it says is girls.
Report! Throw them out the airlock.
Oh shit! It jumped on me.
Report them. Don't just delete them.
Thank you.
Yeah, report those people. Report them. Block. Report.
I blocked them. All I can do is block them.
Yeah, I know.
But
the listeners, you can report.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dave G. Sound.
Tuvix.
Why?
Oh, Tuvix. That's a controversial episode.
Well, that is controversial, yeah.
I don't know. What was she supposed to do? Let him stay as Tuvix?
We can't a new life form, right? That until we get to it.
Thank you, Cal. What's that? Oh, but it's like that's years away, though. So,
But it does make you think, though, right? So, it's controversial. So we won't comment on it, but it
I'll give him credit on
does
that
open some interesting ethical considerations.
The Brandon Braga crap with the warp speed. What was it? Worm? Where they became.
Yeah, they
become worms.
Parasite.
Kind of crap,
they regressed into like these worm-like salamander creatures.
They did toys of that,
and they had babies, and they actually left the babies on the planet.
They did toys of that.
Yep. I wonder if I have those. I got to check.
The toys?
That was
wow.
That was creepy. Yeah.
Who bought that?
I might have, yeah, for the creepiness of it. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Well, I buy everything. Yeah.
Shin kicks. Shin
Oh,
kicks.
man.
Hey, in 100 years, those lizard people might be worth a lot of money. You
No,
never know.
no.
Well, everybody, we're going to start. I'm going to do some show notes, and then we'll start our goodbyes, and we will let you all go. I appreciate you being here with us tonight. July the 1st, IconicCon 2 starts up. Well, I'll get a schedule and everything when we get it together, but I will be conducting a panel. We don't know what time yet exactly. We'll know soon on toy comics. I did one last year. Really enjoyed it. That's my wonderful retro blasting friends. So looking forward to that. I have a video up that is a commentary of something really stupid on Collider did, comics-wise. It was from this past Monday night. And celebrating Star Wars this week of the Star Wars Week, and I have a great video up by the extraordinary Michael French Explains from an older appearance on the show. The snips from that where he explains, defines the great character and the heroism of Luke Skywalker. A Monday night Moxie Comics Talk. It's another Clommy's Classic Comics review, the greatest comic event of all times, Superman versus Spider-Man from 1996, with my good buddy Ace Cassard as my guest. And then Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Great Stone Loki's channel, our monthly DC animated film review will be Green Lantern First Flight. Again, that's 8 p.m. Central on Loki's great channel. So I want to thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. Any closing words from you, number one?
No, just thank you everyone for being here. I want to thank all of the wrenches for all of the work you do. You don't get paid to do it. You just do it because you love us, and you being here to support us and keeping this environment safe for everyone is very much appreciated by this entire panel. I want to thank every single person who made a comment tonight. It's not easy to make comments in public, even when you're anonymous, because you're giving your opinion and you're expressing it in a medium that is very restrictive, and it isn't easy to get through those algorithms. There's spelling and autocorrect and autocomplete and all that crap going on. And so, you just taking the time to do that is a huge honor for Clubby and I. I want to thank Mark D with a C. Just for being a cool cat and always hanging out with us. Please go over and follow Mark D with a C. He's a maker in his own right. I'm trying to push him to be more of a maker. I'd like to see him get a few commissions. He's quite talented. So please hop on over to Mark D with a C's channel and check him out. He's also going to have a show on Sunday night. It's super fun. Whenever I have time on Sunday to get on over there and hang out, I do, because that's how much I just love that show. And I just want to thank our captain, Clubby. Mike Clubby Alonso has created this space, inspired from owning a comic book shop and just wanting to hang around with a bunch of nerds, geeks, dorks, and normies to talk about all the wonderful things that we love. And here is where we get to talk about Star Trek because of Clubby. So I am saluting you, Captain. Thank you so much for creating this space. And just for just being here for all of us, and just being a wonderful, dynamic person who everyone wants to hang out with. I love you.
Love you. Thank you so much, number one. Mark D, what you got going on? Tell everybody.
Sure, yep. Well, thank you very much for having me on. It was a great time. I got to go back and rewind. I guess you say rewind with digital video to catch the beginning part that I missed. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Be kind, rewind, right? But no, thank you for mentioning the show, Raquel. Yep. So Sunday Night Geekery will be, I guess, on the East Coast. That's already today. So look for that at 10 p.m. Eastern. And, we'll be talking probably some of the new shows that are out this week. And if I get the chance to watch some of the Stranger Things stuff, maybe we'll talk about that. Non-spoilery stuff. But and also, of course,
JT
everyone
Kirk popped in.
Hey, JT Kirk.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to see that. Sorry for interrupting, but JT Kirk is an important part of this community.
Hey,
and he was at a Memorial Day party. So I beg your pardon, Mark D with a C. I shouldn't have interrupted you. But everybody, say hi to JT Kirk.
Hey, JT Kirk. Yep.
Hey.
It's great to have JT Kirk here. And yep, and you got to watch the beginning that I missed, or most of the show that you missed. Yep, but no, and also remembering JT Kirk's Memorial Day. So as we mentioned on the clubhouse, it's a day the United States remember those soldiers that men and women who gave their life for our freedom and our country. So it's as a veteran said, he said we get mad as a veteran. Well, I shouldn't say mad, but he said, hey, don't thank me for my service. A veteran gave a talk about Memorial Day. He said, it's not about me. It's not about veterans. It's about those who gave the sacrifice, gave their lives. So it's not a day to remember, that's why we have Veterans Day, as they explained. So it's a real solemn day, and, have picnics and parties, but just, cut out a moment to remember those people who are no longer with us. And who give us this great, we've got this platform in this country. We can, we have free speech, and we can, live free, and got a special place here in this country. It's not perfect, There's some flaws. There's things I know we don't get into politics here that maybe we don't always agree with, but on the whole, in my opinion, we've got the USA is a great country, so it's just a time to remember, those people that gave that sacrifice to us. So that's my that's why I always try to do a Memorial Day. As much as I love the barbecues and the burgers and the hangouts, but I always try to remember that, or go to the parade, and there's a ceremony and things just to remember that. So
important part of it, isn't it? And that insight is such a special and wonderful thing, and it's so heartfelt and so sincere, and really, really important. We don't have Memorial Day in Canada. We have Remembrance Day, and it is a time for everyone to pause and to celebrate that the sacrifices and the freedom that you get from those sacrifices and our veterans. And so that's a beautiful insight, my wonderful friend, and I hope everyone will take that advice. Mark D with the C. Folks, you have heard from the Scoutmaster. He is a Scoutmaster in real life, not just a wonderful geeky nerdy geek. He is also a Scoutmaster, so obey the Scoutmaster.
Thank you, Raquel. Yep.
Eric K, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You're too kind, buddy. He says, what? Bobby on the comic shop. When did this happen?
I love you, Eric.
I don't remember.
I love you, Eric.
It's a nasty rumor. Don't pay attention to it. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you, JT Kirk. You're too kind. The $5 super chat says, Raquel, your short stories are absolutely amazing. Your Maya story is 110 out of 100. Wow.
Oh my God. You're going to make me cry.
Kirk.
That is so incredibly important to me. And I thank you so much for that beautiful feedback. And I hope to keep those stories coming, and just being able to do that, and just to have that relationship with you, JT Kirk, and to share that together it's an unbelievable feeling. And you have no idea how flattered I am and how honored I am that you love the story. I'm going to get choked up. I love you very much. Thank you so much for supporting my work, and for supporting Clobby's channel. You're always here with a kind word, great conversation. You always give yourself so freely to all of us. You're such a great friend, and just love you. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you for the other super chat here. Also for $2. Thank you, JT Kirk. You're too kind. He says, salute to 4 soldiers who took their lives in BCT. And so he means, I guess he means maybe that celebration he went to. I'm not sure what exactly he's referring to, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, and salute to them indeed, sir. So we're going to say our goodbyes now.
Wow. Enigmatic Drop Bear, I beg your pardon, boss. Enigmatic Drop Bear says Remembrance Day is 11/11 in Australia. And JT Kirk, your follow-up comments, I just want you to know I read absolutely every single thing all of you say, and I can't always interrupt the show to address each and every single conversation, because there are hundreds and hundreds of them. But I want you to know I read each and every comment. And JT Kirk, your follow-up comment is just amazing to me. It hits me right in my heart, and it means so much to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's see here. Michael Beacom, thank you for being here tonight. Let's see, trying to find my pin. Where's my pin? Here we go. Mr. Angel was here earlier. Thank you, Chef, for being here. Appreciate you.
Chef.
The Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you for being here tonight.
Great comments tonight.
Again, the aforementioned Great Bronze Ranger Eric K. Thank you, bro, for being here tonight.
Love you, love you.
Pleasant Valley Picture. Thank you, thank you.
Wonderful friend. Thank you for all of your wonderful conversation tonight.
The great J-Man, as always, who's probably gone, but hey, appreciate you being here, buddy. Phantom Outsider.
Phantom Outsider.
Raymond Feliciano had the run, of course. D-Bud.
D-Bud.
Thank you, buddy. Always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well, man. Apollomies, Minion, and
the Pupper, the Pupperoni, the Truck Dog, and the official pooch of Saturday Night Star Trek. Please follow Apollomies Minion and go and follow Simi's channel. Simi has a channel. Nice truck dog.
Gwagnar, thank you so much.
Gwagnar. Great interactions tonight. Thank you for taking the time to make all those comments.
J25, thank you for being here.
Night, J25.
Cal L, buddy. Thanks for being here, Super One.
The Real Soup, Stephen M.
The Enigmatic Drop Bear. Appreciate you as always, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Sensational comments tonight. Thank you so much for putting so much wonderful effort into these conversations. You enrich this community exponentially. I appreciate your company. Thank you.
Max Redstone, thanks again for all the great contributions, and good to see you, buddy. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Hysterical, Max. You know I love you.
Pop Culture Curator. Thank you. My great old friend Ace Cast Iron, buddy. Can't wait to see you Monday night. Just Joe Jobber. Buddy. Always good to see you, man.
Nice. Night, Joe.
Snail Messiah, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Good night.
The wonderful Sandra Feliciano. I think she had to run, but thank you, Sandra.
Good night.
Tyrell 782. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Night, Tyrell.
The great Hungry Boy. My friend. Our great friend. Thank you so much.
Love you. And I have to put this up on the marquee quickly. I'll just leave that there, boss, just because you already know why I want that on the marquee. So we'll leave it there until we get to him.
I'll say it now, though. Rob Altus, it was a pleasure to have you. It's an honor. Thank you for being here tonight.
But appreciate look at what he put. Be seeing you.
Oh, of course. He's a Prisoner fan.
Yay!
I don't know where you got that Prisoner thing. Be seeing you. Coolness. Where were I? Oh, James Caserta, thank you for being here tonight.
Good night.
Wolfie! Don't know if he's still here, but the great Andy Masterson was here. Andy, thank you.
The maker.
The Pop Culture Republic had to run, I believe, but thank you, Pop Culture Republic.
Pop.
I think this gentleman had to run, but he's a wonderful pal, and we always love him being here. The great Chris Persia. Thank you, Chris Persia.
Good night, Chris. And wonderful comments tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to do that.
Janet from another planet. Love you, Janet. Thank you for being here.
Janet.
Dad Man Buddy. I hope you're having a great time out there camping, man. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. And family.
Played some Fortnite with Dad Man, even though he was in a campsite.
Oh,
impressive Star Trek tech.
Yep,
with his Nintendo Switch and a Wi-Fi hotspot. Ahura helped us out. Yep.
Dave G Sound, my friend, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and appreciate you.
You were great tonight, and thank you for creating banter. That was so good. That was just so good.
Mazerus, I think Mazerus hasn't meant to run, but thank you, Mazerus.
Night, Maze.
The lovely Wendy Webb. We always love it when the ladies stop in. Lovely. Thank you for being here. Great
comments tonight.
The great Steve Mitchell, Maddie's daddy, buddy. Hey to Maddie. Hope Maddie's doing well, bud. Mega Cropper, as always, appreciate you, Mega Cropper. Thanks for being here.
Good night, Mega.
Eric Carroll, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Zathras.
Crap.
Cam Loops was here tonight. That's 70s. Thank you, buddy.
Cam Loops.
You're too kind. Low Woke Breaker, thank you for being here, Woke Breaker.
Good night.
Appreciate you. Captain James T. Skywalker, thank you. Canadian Spider-Man, thank you so much.
Dun, 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 dun.
Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Good to see you. TMF, Tots of Manflu, thank you so much for your kindness and your great contributions, and you are too kind.
Yeah.
And hello to the missus as well. Thank you.
Yeah. What you're hysterical. You know how much I love you. I love your amazing puns. I love your sense of humor. And thank you for supporting the show. It's so kind of you to give those so generously to the show, and I really appreciate it. Good night, hon.
Banano Moss, thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. The great Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you so much, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you. Scotty R37 had to run, but thank you, Scotty. JD Lewis, and then you're gone already, but I hope you feel better, my friend. Get well soon.
He's so ill. Get well soon, honey. Rest.
Tim's Talk, thank you for coming by, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
Night,
Larry, thank you.
Larry! Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mackany Draws, you take care. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful night.
Good night.
Mr. Grant Gregory, always good to see you, my friend.
Good night.
And again, the aforementioned great JT Kirk. So that's everybody. Thank you all. Anyone out there who listens later on a download or a pre-recorded view, or I say listens just to have it, watches whatever on a later view, or was lurking out there, I really, really appreciate you. I hope you will come back. Thank you so much. Thanks for that. And please like and subscribe if you have not already. I would really appreciate that. And to all of my wonderful friends that I have links to in my channels below. And of course, check out the wonderful works of fiction of my extraordinary, beautiful first officer. I want to and also laud her for this wonderful intro outro that she made for me that we will play out right now after these important messages.
protest. I am not a merry man. For you, Mr. Worf, I would love to explore Klingon memories. Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
Crap, 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 crap.